Citizens' Power. Citizen TV, the citizens' power.
Wone oyire no ma wone wabusia munko chicken na munfanidi na saka bobo ya ka yi a omakova ho aye na yi saka we ya de ama obi 4 years 110,000 1.1 billion wo tua ne 4 years saka we enu 2 years na njiriga na nsaye. And then people have the guts, the audacity. Say your money be di ya tona adwene ya toni nyansa ya tona enumonyam enipa wo Ghana ha wo mema bi otete TV ni radio so a fe kama but omo to wo mu nyansa to wo madwena to wo enumonyam e de agisika enti ade cho akotene TV ni radio so akoye dede aka say because of Ghana card digital address intino obi akwakonya we compare saka tantan we saka we. Oh, 210,000 4 years, 1.1 billion 4 years. Na saka be obetua 4 years be wie no na car no da so ye car. Senya ba umia bad policies. Taxes ahodo exchange rate ya enka tete no 2015 2016 enka saka we ye dia ma we compare 50,000. Enka ye dia ma we compare abo so asenya exchange rate. Joma ama time no a na $1 ye 4 cedis na ye 3 cedis 80%. When am keka 4 cedis kwa na mintiase e ye 2017 one mo na buy what the everyone say 4 cedis na euro kura ye be say 4 cedis 30 no mo ne ade no enka saka we any taxes no mo ne na ye flexible mu ene mamu deda ho no mo no a na tema ha bo no mo no e ho no mabunka mo afa so a ye kwa ye ba ne saka we ye de ma wa buru so kura ye se de bu kura no e ye 50,000. But today, because of bad policies, yeah, Baumia and Dr. Baumia, yeah, head economic management team, Tino. On to me stabilize Ghana, ye city, ye currency, hata ya fumbasa. It is Saka Funtan Tower here. Saka Mbu Yenen Mabontinsui. Ya demo will be 4 years. 110,000 1.1 billion adia chese asa wato wadwe wonimu nyansentino ejimi fo na aka na omudi wo machino waka hu bintino wakwa akwatena wono mo justify say obi the Ghana card akwaje we campaign can you imagine enti mu de mu hia nyansa kakra kwa se mu nsem keka no how stupidity ya motie because sometimes obi the TV so now
running promo say omo maka on says Suzuki Kifo can get red be enam krum no so call or call bisa nema minu the digital address and the Ghana card and will provide it and no coffee or one and a friend say obi reno opi na company no enkrofo na aba into mo the digital address next be verify baby awoti to mo find the Ghana card or say one no say the next day omra okoya omosi card ni Oksafo ni Jennifer ko no say how on fan ko saying no say yes car no nie Osafo ni car no 110 Ghana cedis which is 1.1 billion old cedis na mum obetua no within 4 years 110,000 obetua that's 1.1 billion old cedis just in patcho obetimi de abrante na ba na din komo o say obetimi atua no within 4 years nitifaya adwuma na tuaka na bisa so mo di deposit o si da bi utua bibi o si da bi wo de collateral bi koye o si da bi wo de agent koye na o si da bi e dey na wo de koye o si Ghana card any digital address enti se ne Dr. Baumia kasa den crofo social media so no mo say ai enye ye na Dr. Baumia sha se di ntro bi ma I mean because idea we shall say then see that last year. Asante Patrofa ora no picture ne bra. Your friend no Kofi Patrick. But on picture ni the car no so a or the Ghana card no ekotoye no enu gina ho no. and Yankopon no kwen usa car near registered in 2022, which is last year, and or toss our car we. Agyarko Patrick Martin.
Yeah, only I'm a Joe son of pay.
Me patron now what is saying
you? This one, airtime, Saka we. Those days now we campaign, just all the agent to call. I just saw papa ko fuo, e ho nkrata ko. Those days we campaign na no mo ye no. We campaign no mi bisa driver for ye mu tie me. E bia mu de mo start ye we campaign ache. Mi bisa mo. Sa be kia picanto, kia morning nom, sa cars na eti apo car papa no mo no a. Sa Hyundai nkitwa no mu ni ade a na mo de ye sa we campaign no. Na okofa collateral ko ansa na wakwa akogye. Oye driver. Obeko company ni ho. Ye be take wo particulars. Wo identity card. That time na ye voters ID card ye beje. Who is your next of kin? Ye be take your address. Ye do be for process nim. Bibia ye intact, bibia ye genuine. O qualifier. Come for the car. Sabre no na eye car papa ne de ma wo enye kan bu kitwa we ya ene ne nam car kwa na sa car we ya da ho no ye ne nam krom ha ya se nya memwo funi bad policies from taxation to industrialization. Yes, I say taxes e bun kam dia fa ye so sa car we sure the seni na Ghana nim e de sa car we ma no 1.1 billion, and then when you enye wani wu enye wa wureho presenter journalist enye wa homete enye wani wu enye wo fere se wote wono mo eka se Dr. Bawumia ka Ghana card asema Ghana card ma no na yenji lo wo Ghana ha na yenje mama kwane nda so mame na yenje credit facility wo Ghana ha Dr. Bawumia na de work and pay aba. What na see ade chi ye ya wo ka Dr. Bawumia nim ni enmonyam bia ni hu on a political career e wo Ghana Dr. Bawumia ni enmonyam kitikiti kura wo Ghana hey enkade kame expect dey free hu se mo de agya damage control na say mo ye because Dr. Bawumia atichem no woda tichem ball so en woda ne ho ye time ne ho ansi e ma Ghana fo it will damage control yi ade kame expect wo ho ne say 2020 Dr. Bawumia she Okada for bo Okada riders for bo say John Mahama so be legalize Okada operation and Dr. Bawumia she Okada for bo say after 2020 elections no bra Okada no pakisi baby fabeje car eti ade Ghana for expected dey free when say mudi mo funu ma adwene agisikai mo fu kwa journalist fwa mutine TV ni radio so bia hu se mo ye stupid munyusu ma adwene no munyusu ma adwene muti TV ni radio so a mama ni panya because mo niam mo ye no mama ni pa hu how stupid you people mudi ye adwuma adwene mudi ye adwuma wa ha sei misi ni pa bi na de omo muti ade a muti radio so ni TV so a omo ye adwuma nkofom how stupid they are no Ghana fo hu ye eti mo ne sade achi ye ya wo ken no o se Dr. Bawumia Dumada Roma digitalization ya former president John Mahama Dr. Edward Mane bo amamo fellas kwacho ofusumu ye ne wo de bo ne ho asafo hini eni Ghana card ntino Okada riders for na waka wo magu baabi Okada riders ene munie 2021 Dr. Bawumia fulfilling the promises. No maka no yeah Dr. Bawumia ni o yeah Dr. Bawumia share your boss say Okada na ye atwie no etwitwa ye nan ekunkum nipa enu enti no say they were my cars after 2021 after 2020 2021 econ cars ya wo mo dey replace Okada adwuma no enie yes ene na ne ye say wo ye damage control ukuta sempapa wo ka dia kire Ghana fo but adia we compare da on mu free akato amre so credit facility at Johannesburg ayi ankrofo ko ba Ghana conference such as Makati num any ho mo ba Ghana ha no mu ya sa Brentina banks ni Ghana ha e champion no mu time buzia no mu time e ko fo do papa ni kero frata papa be bo me yi kro no yi nyina achi e be fum Ghana dwapade yi eti na credit facility ni ho na Ghana card ni ho eti na ye ma credit facility bi ani ba bia munyina so ma dwene ati free sa ka kire Ghana for say okada ba omi ase ye legalize ye be replace okada ne ama mo cars enti Crawford mo Ghana cars no a omo import to the buy na MPP propaganda from futuro entro ne akohwie mutu opposition twa ye no ano a 2020 musa twa ba omi a twa ntro twa no for document bra for videos bra for pictures bra cars am import dia ba mache dia masa okada riders no na we show but this thing we say we can pay now obi ono important the cars e dia balance wo so ye we can pay wo sorry ya wo kwa ya wo se me de kwa me kwache me tu taxi me pere can pay no we ja wo say okay ene ye ko ade a chi a me ba me hwe ba bi atie obebe ba bi a wo tie no na kire say ade a cha be fa ka no eye procedure from o qualifier ye de amount montene TV ni radio so na mo magana fo nkoda kora nka ncha musem ni munyansa maton ma adwene mu ni munyansa this thing e de kire anu no de e show anu no because we can pay de e wo ho no free tete madam fu bia no otwi we can pay da o ba yi niti e wo Ghana ha no mo da no otwi we can pay obi company bi ne ba sa during I think 2012 2013 one na otwi we campaign enti Ghana card no sa card we ko tua card 1.1 billion na wo be tua sa card we say wo be ya adwuma kra tua half 55,000 card we net apo those days we can pay 2 years abo so 3 years we campaign because cars na say sakia picanto small cars here no mo di ye uba no mo ni ade na say but bad policies enti car we adu 110,000 woni age o ye MPP ni o ye MPP adwuma enye wani wu enye wo fele enye wo tan enye wo awerho se sa car we say e na ye ton de amankrofo. The victory of your Mahama is coming again.
Attention! Come on! The victory of Muhammad!
Enti na nwa mi hu se won to se National Commission for Civic Education for say amu be ye presidential debate e dey ama presidential candidate John Mahama no be. I was like seriously na NCC you know mo free say Baumia no ho no level ne Mahama say Baumia ko former president John Mahama ko debate Baumia e on the backgrounds e di enti na was a former president John Mahama any Baumia gina ho so mo ye presidential debate kame di former president John Mahama le team atwa ne ho hia ho ya pa so mbe allow say former president Mahama en konko debate Baumia na Baumia kwa na wo so debate former finance minister say tepe Baumia e was if he said tepe kwa no finance minister kwa no nye vice president kwa e was say Baumia debate no na Baumia debate former president John Mahama munye serious munye serious.
Oh, your friend is saying, Miss you want it to bana. Shama Hamana to it. Shama Hamana to it.
And a special prosecutor at your press conference. A son and nine, a son in sa, or France kasa. Also on one tank kasa because the man in your kasa. Yet Ghana ha. You see, judicial system no. A autonomous, a independence, independent institution. Yan criticize you majuma. O attack you will be a wrong. O insult will be a wrong. But it will be ye juma. Na juma na wo ye no. eya wo taxpayer me na na ma ya me meti hanu mu ya wie mani abri me kakra wa se edu agwongwo di be ma me obetua me ka no kwa bank kwa le taxes ami tua judge se wo Ghana ha se no omo ye edenti na wo se ma omo hwiri tina wo mo kon ye kon so they are there to serve us omo sum ye omo sum ye enti na ye di sika tax edi atua wo mo ka but ukasa about judge yes hey contempt institutional autonomous independent state say ene judicial system no are falling apart omo credibility about from obia wo memu bianim say Ghana judicial system no credibility gradually sinke because judges in him say lower court ya pejano ya na to high court judge in him say me high court ya pejam ya me to appeals court judge in him say ya pejam ya me to supreme court obi nim so ya lawyer kufu adada woman ya pejano ya na to supreme court enti paymasters adwuma na wo mo ye. Now what one man will say no. We shouldn't talk about them. Ejuma omo ya no yenka ho hwe. Yenya wo mo saa. Anya sa ya be fa say contempt. Enu ana won toti ya say ya woke. La bianca. Invade tax. Empanimfo bi na abuwa no man invade tax. Empanimfo bi. GRA Ghana Revenue Authority empanimfo bi. Customs and pennyfo bi na abuwa no man tax e wo so tua no because a GRA mandate so what she say obi atua tax obi invade tax millions obo o man ne krono ya set charge no we tua 1 million Ghana cedis di ama wo man omo bua la bianca ama na bo wo man ne krono ni gina court say omo nye bone judge say omo nye bone ama ruling kwama special prosecutor was found 10,000 Ghana cedis special prosecutor say enkrofo na omo bua la bianca ama na bo wo man ne krono no hwe na special prosecutor investigate wo mu biem na say ruling we say ba na sa wotena se na sa wo kasa yes wo attack judge me attack judge say me ya taxpayer me sika na edi tua judge sika omo ho se omo sum Ghana fo omo ni ho na mo se omo sum akufo ado any ministers omo ho se omo sum Ghana for we have every right every power as civilians as citizens of this country say you be criticize the judiciary omo djuma omo ye because yen you chia omo ka obi aka former chief justice awokoye obi aka na sem kan chief justice awabey obi aka judges amuti case so obi aka se no aboro so mama adina ye too obvious amani pa hu se da bi eye mra na mudi ye adwuma eye nhihye na mudi ye adwuma but ase mo ye adwuma ama obi ama political party bi ama leader bi obi aka mo se yenka yenya ne saa na obi nya president John Dramani Mahama no nya president ena Mugabe mu mo so waka oma attack judges for ye jeli wom no nya president na omo nya adwuma ma former president John Mahama ni NDC adentina under former president John Mahama's regime no aden wono de wan kan che judge for ne say Mugabe no munche 3 for no omo ye adwuma de ama me party enti there's no way me ala asam jelo ba ye jeli wo mu de om kokotum but e need entisa judges ye de dwuma e de ama president Akufo na busuafo ni ministers it is special prosecutor wa na wani abre ma tie mi du na firi ase na oka ye ma tie mi du appointee no e ma ni je start na dwuma office kura desk kura konwa ni table kura no wa nya bi antana so anya dwuma e wi a kire ma tie mi du se Akufo ado ne nkrofo ne gangs e yo ma dwu so mu bekunu special prosecutor Kisia Jabendie Oyomo boy election petition 2012 legal team anom jam dia makufa na kisi Ajaben edi akire bi Gloria Kufu no madese no mokwa kisi Ajaben sa junior lawyers no kan na kisi Ajaben kan bi etu obi an se kisi Ajaben yu am boy kisi Ajaben yu am boy ba ya kisi Ajaben processing special prosecutor and special eda wo so kwa ya ma se bra be hantu obi down be fight corruption office adema no akwa ni workers ho eburu wanye na ntua wo mkada bi resources kwa de be ya adwuma bi ni ho afei kisi Ajaben no so mo hante down and yen take kisi Ajaben ni emra things are falling apart state institutions nyina ya adwuma e de ma Akufo na busuafo judges ya adwuma de ma Akufo
see it for what it is, public information and assurances of the position of the office on the admonishing me that they have heard talk that our friends who have been elevated to the bench and presiding over cases in court do not take very kindly to criticism, especially of the public calling out variety as we do, and that if the office persists in the media releases, the judges will gang up against the office and throw out all our cases. Mind you, members of the press, collective admonition is from very senior and experienced lawyers who are men and women of the world. Members of the press, my learning of the law for the past 25 years in 3 different jurisdictions, my teaching and training of lawyers and law students for the past 17 years, my 20-year record at the bar, all bear testimony that I will be the last person to head and lead an institution to attack the judiciary. It will be absolutely of no good and utility should it be the case that the OSP is set against the judiciary, or that the judiciary is against the OSP. That will surely spell disastrous consequences for this republic, especially in the fight against corruption, to the unending glee of corrupt persons. The OSP will not countenance for a moment such an impression. What we do is a statement of our position on judicial pronouncements in the context of the fight against corruption and whether it benefits the quest against corruption or otherwise. And this is so whether the judicial decision in question is favorable to the OSP or not. And to the well-meaning lawyers who call to admonish me, I always assure them that I do not believe that our judges see themselves as above criticism. Indeed, I vividly recollect when years ago, as a private practitioner, a justice of the Supreme Court softly chastised me in open court that I was not churning out enough published articles in critique of their work, because I was a lecturer at the University of Ghana. The judge added that criticism of judicial pronouncements was essential in guiding judges, and he fondly recollected the regular publications of old in the University of Ghana Law Journal and the Review of Ghana Law. I reckoned the judge's observation with admiration. Collectively with the well-meaning lawyers who admonish me, we philosophize and wonder if our judges would do such a thing as gang up against the flagship public anti-corruption agency to scuttle its work for whatever reason. Our musings ran along the lines of, would that not defeat the fight against corruption? Would that not put our young democracy in danger? Will the judges not stultify themselves in the process? We always end with an open-ended sigh, sometimes a sigh of relief, sometimes a sigh of concern, that may that never be the case. And personally, I do not believe that our judges will ever adopt such a dystopian stance. However, members of the press, there appears to be a developing trend of rather regressive and dismissive judicial decisions in respect of cases involving the OSP, with troubling consequences. And it seems to us that a careful examination of these outcomes portends a disturbing specter that the fight against corruption is being hampered to the disbenefit of us all. And I do not say these things lightly. 4 instances will suffice. In one case, the OSP applied to the High Court for a confirmation of a freezing order in respect of a deceased person's estate. The judge refused to confirm the order by, in effect, holding that the OSP had come too late since the person of interest had died, and that his death had extinguished the inquiry commenced after the occurrence of death. We publicly commented on this outcome, and the danger of this outcome is obvious, members of the press. It is to the effect that a person may, in his lifetime, acquire property through corruption, and then upon his demise, happily pass on the corruptly acquired property to his estate, and by so doing, extinguish all scrutiny as to the propriety or otherwise of the acquisition of the property, because his corrupt activities were not discovered during his lifetime. In the second instance, the OSP had declared as wanted a person it believed to be a fugitive from justice. The person, through his lawyer, proceeded to the Human Rights Court on an ex parte application, and the judge, without even an inquiry as to why the OSP believed him to be a fugitive from justice, issued an injunction that the OSP should not arrest the person for a period of 10 days. Members of the press, this is dangerous. It encourages criminal suspects to go before the courts to seek injunction orders against law enforcement agencies from apprehending them. The judge did not adverse his mind to the well-founded proposition that no one has the right not to be arrested, and he accorded the suspect a right not to be arrested. In the third instance, the OSP applied to the High Court for a confirmation of a seizure order and a freezing order in respect of a person who had just resigned from a ministerial position and had reported that large cash sums in foreign denominations had been stolen from her residence. In addition, the OSP subsequently discovered additional large cash sums in foreign denominations and cedis still stashed in her residence. The judge hastily dismissed the OSP's application and ordered a return of the seized amounts and the defreezing of her property, and he proceeded to lash out at the OSP for not doing a thorough investigation, without the slightest consideration that the seizure and freezing orders are designed by law to facilitate investigation into the affairs of suspects, and not the other way around of requiring thorough investigations before the OSP can seize or freeze. The judge also completely ignored the fact that in almost every jurisdiction, including Ghana, it is extremely unusual and highly suspicious for a public officer to have such large cash sums stashed in their homes, and that the circumstances of the case dictated pause and reflection and the granting of the OSP adequate time to carry out its investigation. In our estimation, the judge was only interested in the return of the money to the person of interest and nothing more. Then he proceeded to erect non-existent legal barriers to prevent the OSP from investigating the matter. I'll revisit this case. Members of the press, in the fourth instance, the OSP had issued an investigation report in respect of the grant of a customs advance ruling by the Customs Division of Ghana Revenue Authority. The report opined that there was an institutionalized culture of light-hearted unconcern regarding impropriety of action at the Customs Division of Ghana Revenue Authority, which indicated a high propensity to engender corruption and corruption-related activities. Consequently, the special prosecutor directed the opening of a wider investigation in respect of the affairs of the Customs Division. Further, in pursuance of the office's mandate of taking steps to prevent corruption, the special prosecutor directed remedial action by Ghana Revenue Authority. The authority has instituted processes on the basis of the Special Prosecutor's Directive, which has saved the nation substantial revenue. Then comes the problem. The affected customs officials proceeded to the High Court to challenge the work of the OSP. The judge accused the OSP of constituting itself into a court and a commission of inquiry by making findings. In doing so, the judge conveniently shut his eyes to an express statutory provision that the OSP has the mandate to publish detected acts of corruption, and that was exactly what the OSP had done in the report. I wish it had ended there, but worse. The judge then proceeded to prohibit the OSP from further investigating the affected persons. Members of the press, the judge fell into the grievous fault of what he accused the OSP of by outlandishly going beyond his jurisdiction with a purported clothing of the affected persons with immunity from investigation and hence immunity from prosecution. Members of the press, the duty and mandate of the courts is to apply and enforce the laws of the Republic, and not to grant persons immunity from criminal investigations and prosecution. A court cannot injunct the OSP from investigating or prosecuting any person. The decision to investigate and prosecute lies with the investigation and prosecution authorities, such as the OSP, and the OSP has at all material times carried out its power to investigate with candor and professionalism, being minded of the rights of suspects under its investigation. Members of the press, just as it is essential that anyone accused of a crime should have free access to the courts so that he may be duly acquitted if found not guilty of the offense with which he or she is charged, it is also of the utmost importance that the judiciary should not interfere with investigation and prosecution authorities in respect of matters which are within their statutory powers. It will be gravely inimical to public policy, the fight against corruption, and the administration of justice if the court stepped into this arena to decide who should be investigated, who should be prosecuted, and who should not. That is not the function of adjudication. The danger of this startling decision is again quite obvious. A judge has in the process granted two persons immunity from investigation, and in effect immunity from prosecution. This decision opens up a calamitous deluge, as every person under criminal investigation will be encouraged to take out suits to injunct investigation and prosecution bodies from investigating and prosecuting them. Indeed, there is a live case involving the OSP now, in which someone has taken the cue to seek to injunct the OSP from investigating them. The real and present danger looms largely on the consideration that by so doing, persons under investigation would end up conscripting the judiciary to clothe them with immunity from investigation and prosecution. Members of the press, I do not intend to sound as though I am predicting doom, but we are facing doom, and this is it. With this development, it will not be long. A suspected murderer or armed robber would boldly walk to court with the unthinkable prayer that the court should injunct law enforcement agencies from investigating him. We are not suggesting that the OSP does not make mistakes. We are not suggesting that
the last time Biafra now will be saying number on fame. And Obia would see any Nebiano. We any power, you know, a man who are rebel. 4 cases no boss so. Charles Bisu, when we are on top. Professor Frimpong Boatin, Sir Galamsey report what they buy. We invited Professor Frimpong Boatin. Later say, wa arrest no a afei obi granting the bill nom ni ade ni nyina abai edu Charles bisu so a won kɔ no court ekwaje injunction say on CID boss then CID boss mami yeti wa investigating no a claim no from any wrongdoing. It is special prosecutor need 2 months to be investigating no to akwaje your friend is a special prosecutor declared wanted a man date ya one date ya one was so won kono na say yes utiri mu fanya sa wonya boni a special prosecutor sheda man date afa woni illegal team court ekwaje injunction e ma judge so granting injunction say onko special prosecutor ni so ntimi nya ni hute na senya animal kingdom and such rulings koso bad precedents and a more setting mo ye adwuma asif say I say akufo the 2017 and ye create judicial system judicial institution wo Ghana ha. Then second one wa brosuba Cecilia Branda pa was state Minister of State ya onwa ye adwuma wa resign ya yakohu millions dollars cedis sika woni dem na special prosecutor asam no aba court no judge na nhwe say obi onu sum wo man no eye den wo store sika millions cedis ni na account millions money laundering na wa be kwa aba no maba be ye no so maba be kan Cecilia Branda pa money laundering so no so wo ye ya oni FBI USA fohwe judge na fa wo judge ni say masa why freezing account releasing sika ma no without questioning say madam adai sika we free enu an say sa la bianca me kwa kwadu nkoma aba and the special prosecutor there MPP no nkasa say agu na special prosecutor so boa wo mo ama party no agu no and akufuado lawyer pokumi constitutional lawyer ni nkotwetwe nkomo mfa ne press conference briefing in someone special prosecutor Abroso. Lawyer Eyema Hai.
Ejo simini aba wa promote say.
Nyamenu na ekuta ye special prosecutor dwumade ye ne course wodi wani edi akire. Wabobo issues. Lawyer Pokumi constitutional lawyer. Yeah, maboni din. Ena ye ne ka say. Wodi wani edi akire wa follow. We share issues one raising about on the judiciary no adwuma wo ye ya se du ba bia so hu se wo mo undermine na adwuma e de na wo ka de afa ho.
Okay. Me tie wo kakra no na wo ma the whole issue as complained about by the special prosecutor no to have a bit of a certain political flavor. I wouldn't begrudge you, but I will tell you, sir, in an attempt to fight corruption, the moment we begin to give those things any political color, we have already failed. Because people will play on people's political allegiance to let them come and cover them. While they, as individuals, they will be enjoying whatever there is to be enjoyed. And as you speak, and you make when him, the more make a chegan any be out here the same. So we are NDC and now we are MPP. Who say will be after a bicycle. Not a per se de Mrakwanso and Manipa Chrono. Sikana wafano or Sani Edeba. Men could be parties to and conco ye a way say, Sani Pan ye jano. Because you could woman say, or no, or young Sani Sikanoa, often being from Maufi, or a neere and an emma, and I say, Nukunu, and the bush and four, no more enjoy Sikano. There's nothing wrong, so over supporting any particular political party. Now, a basse, ye can't share one some and I dream any near ma Emma Mano and Koswa. Mesre will be out with him in the same. Memma MPP and NDC in some may do with him. Now what Junigana Wakane. Now who say Sika Kwame and Akwaku or Fakwati Kwanso a fire no. And no na ma will quire or now I will go crew and your problem no. And no na ama said you will so cool and some Aqua Bibi or yes, the special prosecutor Nipakwa was to say, he was appointed by the MPP. And Crawford orderly with almost same way is he during the MPP for almost 10 hours. So then one will say, is it the case MPP for no more Elkwana? Because a lot of the judges now you can't want some the case in the call minimum outcome no and near special prosecutor and many ejehono. Some of them might have also been appointed during the MPP time. So is it the case to say, sir, the MPP is now fighting itself and I believe, sir, a certain basic issues should be and no and a special prosecutor no or but wakati Ghana for you Ghana for see a per se ye ma dream someone ye per se a cano shell Ghana hano you to me a jumadia. But Mamuina Musumo TV said, me as special prosecutor, no, my ever for Mudia. One we heard him say, and comes on to me a bois. Ama idioma akwasu ye. Nasa or Queen ye queen, a beauty meeting could be abano. A new man answer that I am caught send an ankame penno. And to me, Bomuina, my dear. Now, Mosu said, Basse or Chinabiman to me, ye Jumano. Or quite as I said, yes, Jumano. Will be encouraging a baby and can say. Ebia Melissa Uncle for we, Akosha baby, na ye kwani, Eddie Iron Cropobi Crocodile John. We did it say, near, special prosecutor no or the buyer and no.
Okay, but enti senia wokan oye lawyer ono client and answer sa woko quarter. Una wudi kan yo, una woko last yo. Case no eno nche se wudi kan na so call last no ebetimi aba de wo hwehwe se bia wo de wo pese ye bebu ase na ka se wudi bem ebetimi akọ se obedi bem ana so obedi for but se wo hwe instances let special prosecutor e wo mandate ye de adwuma na ahye ne sa of fight against corruption. It is a wish cases or din any ADHA about 4 cases. Yan fan says Cecilia Benanda pa. Ye even said ya okay say any MPP NDC in someone to chain. Special prosecutor the Juma Shen in Sawa Konfie Sika no money ade na account mu were freezy. Then the outcome of court ni ruling in say untimi freezing account releasing account fanisika edemano and then Labianca dear ebaye ya find ya surcharge Labianca 1 million Ghana cedis we chase card ya moma omo customs no omo bua no emani invade tax no court say wa clear wo mo untimi continue investigate so wo share judiciary no adwuma na wo mo eye no a in a case no said ye kisia da bi twa for nyina magana for kire se wo ye dwuma but adwuma na wo ye no akwansidie dɔɔso no wo hu se ye undermine na adwuma wo kwan bi so
se Mary enka asem aye sini bia we be ka say me person me politically correct me can say the situation office of the special prosecutor and as a special prosecutor and all can want some no very, very worrying. And yet, as I'm Kitwan or the Ababe Tuja, I was gonna have. The woman is saying, a no more special prosecutor, no, Nina, and man who finds on your side. Say, obey freezing Croponiuma, and now say, obey Caesio Muniama. They are all in the Office of the Special Prosecution Prosecutors Act. They are there. Ya training yes so oye enye no mani nyina kra fo na so kwaje warrant e bi ono ma say ne officer bia a oye mandated under the office of the special prosecutor no if he has any reasonable suspicion say obi property be tainted or the right to ensure that that particular property is seized and then after that some investigation could be done in respect of it. And I believe that is what the Special Prosecutor's Office, that is what they are doing. So if the Special Prosecutor is doing all that he is expected to do, not among some of the things that he's supposed to do, no, after he has effected a certain seizure, no, as a court, my court, a confirm seizure, no, not a court, not that very relatively simple procedure of the court confirming that particular act of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, no. It now turns out to be something else. You use relative technicality to let people go free. And I'll be honest with you, the part that saddens me is where we have an order of the court saying that those people should no longer be investigated. However, where can this ever be said? So somebody who has been under investigation, he goes to court to say, oh, certain recommendations or certain comments were made about me. Na me happy about it. It is those things, court, enka na minya the opportunity to restore my image. So you go. The court says, ampa. The process is a file, so and maybe I can't file no, and you know, and your image is restored. And then the court proceeds to say, how your image, the Office of the Special Prosecutor should never investigate you in respect of that matter. But you see, where I am a little bit taken aback, and I say, near the court, I cannot, and you know, but you were a system more. So if the Special Prosecutor is not happy as regards the turnout of events at the High Court, knowing very well that the law is on his side, he could climb up. So he could go to the Court of Appeal. If he doesn't get it the way he wants, he can go to the Supreme Court. So that is where I am a little bit, I won't use the word uncomfortable, but I feel a bit eerie to comment on it. Because if what the judge is saying, because the judge can only base his judgment on law. He cannot be whimsical. He will have to base his verdict or his judgment on law. His ruling must also be based on law. And if from the Special Prosecutor, near judge, often say he is wrong at law in coming up with that particular verdict. All you need to do is to climb upstairs. That is to go to the Court of Appeal and to make it clear to the court and say that a particular order and now ruling or judgment, High Court, it is not backed by law, and so same should be set aside. So that is what I was also expecting him to do. But for what is happening now, I rather see what he was doing, is the opportunity for him to share his frustrations with the whole Ghanaian public. For them to know, just as I said, I find it really strange for a court of competent jurisdiction to say that somebody should never be investigated. It is like giving the person immunity.
But to the extent say obetimi aka say cases ahudro bi odi akokọ se ono nan for 4 lawyers bi kura aka say judges ni bi abon ho pronom ni ade and then judge for no su bi kura aka say wo act as if say as a special prosecutor office no e court and ode ye ne a wo penom ni ade no hadwen.
I think that's what I'm saying is that there were some of the comments that the judge made. Those comments, they are not backed by law, because the actions or the activities of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, whatever the Special Prosecutor is doing, I am mandated by law. So if you are saying, say, the Special Prosecutor has done a particular thing, and by that, it is constituting itself into a small court or whatever name that can be given to it. you will have to cite the provision of the Special Prosecution Office of the Special Prosecutor Act, and tell us to say that person has acted ultra vires, that is, he has acted over and above the mandate that is given to him as the Special Prosecutor in respect of that mandate, But if it is just going to be going on frolic and just saying, say, the activities of the Special Prosecutor, he is not behaving like A, B, or C. Tell us to say, he did a particular act which the very actor or no, as officials know the Jumano, he has gone against it. But you should not just be opinionated and making statements. Those statements, won't you be embarked, by any particular act of the Special Prosecutor? Because when the Special Prosecutor makes publications of activities that have taken place in his office now, it is mandated. It is easily stated in the OSP Act. Say every 6 months biano omra men kanchire yen dia waye eniema wawu ani eniema waye dia fa ho omo a otumi di omo akọ baby akwakosi onga o investigate omo baby akwakosi di omo hu. The act specifically spells out that. So when the Special Prosecutor comes to say mihuwe wala bianca mihuwe ewo a friend saying Sizadapa miyewe. What is wrong with that one? Especially in the case of Sizadapa, the argument originally was that he was supposed to have come to court by a certain timeline. Time na obaye no na kechire. I don't he has gone against Onwane Act. That was the argument that was made. Okay.
Lawyer, that's Lawyer Paul Kumi, constitutional lawyer na yaneno editor enkomono. Andy Molas was interview so 1 minute bia yogurt rua na mu. Baby a lawyer now no. I was your phone Special Prosecutor and someone working no. Yay Ghana for any asem for because your judicial system they are turning into say judicial system now falling apart under President Akufo-Addo. Share sana say ya registration science electoral commission year political parties echo Supreme Court echo seek injunction. The BC da the Emma da Chief Justice Fufuro say only the onunso no new key new laws new rules. Eda odi betena asem no so no watu kwan woni ho ba otu kwan woni ho no na program because we Cape Coast say ehe no otiase kama Chief Justice ekwo case ni so no omukọ case ni so no na de agimensa be ye no wa ye awie na atwam na wo so wa bagu ye James Chechi question asin of by election before asin not by election judge our James Chechi question so je awo je hu okuro yi mu. After by election agents the question union on a daily basis on court. Oh, said your podrianka na ntwe to no. Na konfon sem na beka. Aha, ajaji fo ebi abako. But sometimes we be say who say judges fo bi adwuma wo mo ye no. Say na Akufo-Addo court 2024 omo ne na ekwa na. That's the straight question me bisa. Sene na Akufo-Addo kwa monene na ekọ ana La Bianca case Canada moi acquitted and discharged on fan who discharged on fan who konkodi Special Prosecutor investigating bi but on also na bo La Bianca man di boni Cecilia Branda pa Special Prosecutor a confiscate season sika a freezing account judge say the public and can na wugina so etino releasing sika man ye say man money laundering no waka money laundering nyina sika wodi a free gun head transfer e de ko US ni nyina waka judge say releasing sika man the freeze na account without judge and drain say e ye mra na de ye adwuma say public officer Cecilia Branda Pawiye Minister of State adenti ene wasa wo holy sikadienti said good them. But judge say no faniko jano manenko. And then I do a china what nasi be catch us contempt. Don't talk about the judicial system, judges, Ghana. Me attack you be no. But mina yana judges for no sumo yana ye tia wo kan. We can't criticize their work. We can't talk about them. Oh yeah, we can't talk about you people there. But the person catch your man say the producer anka na ntwie to no. The same way na producer anka conforms same. No be a chief justice and will be by and will be quiet. No be a Supreme Court judge and will be by and will be quiet. No be a High Court judge and will be by and will be quiet. Inti saa na bede. Saa na be kwa kusi. Say ya. Ene be kon. Akwa kusi. Abuja for me kwana me ni Emmanuel Wilson, Chief Crusader Against Corruption. Akwa twetwe enkomo. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Minyaba.
Now, what to say?
Yamiadum and Mompaibo.
Okay.
No, Judicial Montomoye.
Okay. Yeah, special prosecutor. Yeah, you send a Juma warrior no. Ebenya positive results. But no special prosecutor. I can send bebre. Who can be say resign to salvage your image. Crusaders against corruption edges Kisi Ejabin. Question way echo ma Kisi Ejabin Emma ne kan chire Ghana for say wa take oath wa swear say or sum ne man ena nipa bia no tu hu si wo so be ye adwuma bia no a akwansidie wom entinya akwansidie no ena obegina so a or the be resign. Wilson edi entina wo ka say Kisi Ejabin en resign.
Medasi me wajidi se me wam ya wambreka cry bit me this ankomo yi.
Sure.
Mate medasi. Yedi kai mamenka se yira Kisi Ejabin minimum no in private practice. At least me follow no ne menya feedback akra about ne posture embra no ye lecturer. Na se unim no in private practice now compare no to Kisi Ejabin and no ye special prosecutor. Ubon clearly say these are two different people. Say Kisi Ejabin yebu bi yenim no, and yet the same Kisi Ejabin and ye nyani sesi. Na Kisi Ejabin be a special prosecutor. Over the past period, one of the key mandates of special prosecutor's office and its obebua amaya fight to corruption. And we see every now and then, yearly, quarterly, monthly, whatever. Mene wo any tea for your taxes. Ye tia say ye debe development no. Enu bi ani editia Kisi Ejabin, editia ne office the office of the special prosecutor. First question to see bisa ya honi say. All this while you say have special prosecutor's office. Then ana ye to me a year from the office a say ye fight corruption. The answer ne literally not. Nothing, because all indices are better to be HFPC say every now and then corruption fight in this country is becoming worse and worse and worse. The trend say we are not getting value for money. Or that office or no. And only the kind. The Tosubium. You see, in law, you will be there for any procedural law. Law and justice must not only be done, but it must also be seen to be done. In other words, no, the process in attaining justice, no, it is equally important as attaining justice. And Kisi Ejabin any amansan di nkomo. Na nkomo a oni omudi ye no, and oni nyina di ye no. Ye mimi hu fi mu ne say the man was just courting public sympathy. Unfortunately, in the fight against corruption, we don't fight it in the court of public opinion. We fight it in our courtroom. The nanka ye she ni mu ne say, and na Kisi Ejabin ni ye bi di nkomo ni nkobe ma ye result. So far, niema wetumi aye. No GDS ne end of quarterly report about Tuja. The last report about Tuja was July. no jide say unya bi kan ye share me out of that report ebeto jana a single case akisi jabin etumi etro report nim say obey a special prosecutor when na wetumi aye enunti no
ba Wilson o Ghana akisi jabin o Ghana ha e na obeka kire ye say even resources office cry ye diama no akadie eni ho o Ghana ha na akisi jabin be ka kire ye say waye juma for months salary a month obia public officer or fighting against corruption months not 1 man not 3 man not 5 man months bebre yentua ne ka one ne dwuma ye for ne staff yentua as apart from the deputy yentua ne ka o Ghana ha wote resources akadie na wode ekoye adwuma no ebi ni ho ba ne nyina demu no time be as and when I was with briefing Ghana for the report na dwuma awoye no onfa nkoti ye enti ara na wo kan say position no eda ne so kwa na wada na wonye hwema Ghana fo
fantastic minka se wada no onye hwema Ghana enti ade resource asoma kan yin ka me bato but niema mienu ye di kan the legal process eno na me ka ho asem no second one resources eno ne ade a waka ho asemi but mami nfa legal process no enwie ansa na maba resources aka ho asem no ene uti asema kisi jaben kan ya asema okanyina no boni tofa or pa say the court no for street no or the asem court na court aboegu or the asem court na court eyegu in fact to the extent crampo say or make specific reference to a provision ewo onoani act ni which says the special prosecutor no or will to me so be publish matters of corruption now be publish corruption act. In fact that is it, act of corruption. Those are the specific words or acting. Special prosecutor will mandate say or be publish act of corruption or can wasem e can say enunti that reporter or publish onim at the county court no ebogu ye example of the reason why he thinks that the court no frustrating. Listen, the truth of the matter is this: it is only a court of competent jurisdiction and a bit to me establishing act of corruption. On one law and a policy and an actor or research, it looks like he was just misleading the public because the act said, say, or to me to publish act of corruption. One act or to me to publish, to publish purported act of corruption. They are two different things. But also reporter a multi court no ejina so ebu sedio obu na ndrana. The report no says Kisi Jabin has reported act of corruption. He doesn't have the competence to determine what is corruption. He just has the competence to identify and investigate. It is only the court that determines what is corruption. These are all procedural weaknesses that Kisi Jabin passes through. It is a yes, I am away in another court. Now, at the end of the day, court no loopholes. Cecilia, the part of my yaking.
It's a court who loopholes. The only thing I court debate me, I catch one and say, case no, what Bogu, affairs you can loopholes, and say loopholes room, say case no da ho, because case na started free baby, La Bianca. Say, and you be a boa La Bianca. And come on, invade taxes or invade tax cannot tax. It's loopholes no, true that you may a woman. Nasa would rule in the bar. What sounds so real, sounds so more ruling say. On to mean to us and sounds investigating loopholes you can on to mean rectify, on to mean conquer to us be.
Listen, no, the matter, La Bianca case, no, that is the substantive matter, no. It has nothing to do with the C and Dra, no. And Dra asked them that has to do with the defamation. Those two individuals cannot one bakuno kahono at the court. It has nothing to do with the substantive case.
Okay, it's the case ni court. They are no musiki from the court. And they defamation. They are no musiki from the court.
Defamation.
So defamation no and who rule no and a buy ya afekwa the teacher say a special prosecutor na entimi ntonko so kwa investigate the whole case no about La Bianca invade tax Canada mo no na chese eboa no mo ye adwuma.
My messy issues no. And that case no, it never says the substantive which is the La Bianca case cannot proceed. And yes I can.
Menka La Bianca case, I'm talking about Canada Moa, any in the other Cheya Wakahua, court court ma ruling says special prosecutor ain't me investigate wo mu paymentis say ruling na ba judge ruling na ba you know say defamation kwa ruling na dan and the other party so say special prosecutor ain't me prosecute wo mo enne no kisi Ajaben so aframe the court ne kan ye ya say ye no nwanwa say court ne ma ruling we say
Minyaba endra case happen here no happen high court. In law, you can appeal. Say, Kisi Ajaben put the house in order. The PNC ne kwan say obe appeal case no. And then encounter oba yo ni embe have yen. Na me expect to say obe try processes or the appeal or the appeal no. That is what Ghanaians should be interested in. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. And only idea Ghanaians should be interested in. High Court, say, this is the ruling that has been given. You have other courts to go to. Other on appeal. There are other instances. Court no semegu. Question is, why is he not appealing those instances? Recently, on the court, it came out that documents were not up. About your I think that on country processes involved or the yes.
Winnie Wilson and someone Kisi Ajaben Kaya was a public sympathy. Near our buru so the good on we are because said in a university and was set every 6 months piano or briefly or then a report eba. It's in Edward Becca now also a public sympathy no. And ya no cray, we share instances. Say or no, declare be wanted, then the next day. Suspect nipa no wa court injunction or call ba enum ni SCCC a enye no krese court no the judicial system undermine the juma.
You see, and then I make a choice say the law no it is totally different from sentiment. We don't take sentiment to court and expect to win.
But common sense, come on your judge so na say we use law so common sense so say Cecilia brother pa public officer, minister of state, a holy sikadiagun the millions dollars ni cedis. And then a bank account we have money laundering. A 2-year judge and so I'm so that one public officer, common sense in Shunu Magmana or Muyenim.
You see, unfortunately, in as much as reasoning and common sense, the number one source of information and our guidance is the written law. And only the number one source. Common sense reasoning up to the discretion of any judge of a given day. So if the judge is corrupt, then the judge will obviously skew the whole process. And until opportunity, I met sure reasons why I don't even believe in the court system that we have in Ghana now. I'll give you reasons. But it doesn't take away the fact that I will not go according to the procedural law. They are two different things. And in as much as Kisi Ajaben is expecting the public to know, say, or in your frustrations, Kisi Ajaben himself should also do a retrospective analysis of himself. No, this one who say, Niema or the court, no, and you does it follow procedural law? There are two different things. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I know it's yes. The court, we all have issues with the court. Your issues with the court. Kisi Ajaben may have issues with the court and all that. But the question is, yet then on also of closing the eyes on certain issues. For instance, when the Advertisements case came, court no can say Kisi Ajaben did not get the needed documents. It is a Odekonoko Seche Adapa. No one is saying Asema Adia Sicily Adapa no, or you're right and or you're wrong. But the question is, as a law enforcer, a special prosecutor, did he pass through the necessary and answer the procedural requirements?
Okay.
Local investigative Obiana.
Okay.
These are the things.
Okay.
And yes, we will end up creating institutions that will end up becoming.
Me first Wilson, Emmanuel Wilson, Chief Crusader Against Corruption, or call on special prosecutor to resign because I say procedure and I'm so no can be into court to anani. Okay, Parliament, Parliament says yes, majority MPs now working out video no ena edaso no majority side majority MPs no okay kind of area na what parliament no eti ye hwe se ye beko budget debate okay so budget debate ekoso e parliament no enti ye ne se majority no amumu hia minority form one moma work out kind of area na gina hono mo a wode ne nsa sum na no pacho muntwantum wo me Facebook page so ase mam ohun se na be ya menya link ne wasama Ghana fo ahu pacho eti de ekoso no na modi sa angrofo we mu a omo record ade ato a omo bo na afe omo yo ade ka so omo begigi TV lances eti de yenya no ye hwese ye be call Parliament House na de asi kuro no a majority for no ntu hwe parliament a omo na ejina ho no mo no omo so ye ejina ho yenim de ekoso majority MP stage walk out enti 2024 pacho mu mame mu fanto ayi ye Facebook page mu fanto mu mame na yehu okay eti yakọ parliament na ne esi wo ho no mo no yama omanfo aso atime ba
attention.
for your parliament na kwesi bofa parliamentary reporter yanko ni yanko bisa ne de yakoso e wo parliament sisi ya nana afternoon sorry hello nana
hello papa
eri na yakoso parliament ya hu se videos ayenya no MPs no asori kanofori ata na gina ho no no doku agina ne nchen MPs na sorry eri na yakoso parliament
ma chi papa ba eri body tuna yes I could have na and budget debate no almost share some of the better year and about minority leader case that to force the statement 1 hour by our unit here homebody so another 1 hour by my majority leader no more statements about issue as so our body so now so finance minister honorable Kenneth Oyata so ebe ye family na head ma house no na fe na akase ye dey put two question ye dey adopt the budget statement 2024 budget statement and the economic policy no only to adopt and also to approve na we know na there difference kakra bi wo say approve na is not the entire budget not when end of the process Omuya budget allocation allocation na omaya appropriation bill hoso no ensem wo kosi ya appropriation bill and there na omo edituma na the entire budget has been approved but when omo adopted the report and I say statement and I say omo edge at the action say the bekai no omo dia to for now about the sole document of parliament into omo ye the speaker put two questions say the omo epene to say ya yenyintum no monka ai omo ka wode ana de omo mpro so monka no ni na voice na no wode pa the speaker eka say I think or say odele say omo moka ai no omo ana enya na say dom godo no enya omo body so na so honorable Amakofibu deputy minority leader sorry yeah on order 1132 order 1132 a challenge speaker opinion say on it omo into on speaker nyaagre awo legislation na what taking ho into what challenge legislation by head count no I was say obi aso be gina ho na ekenkan no ana say the speaker be so go bia no waye enti eno no mo enti oyeye no ana majority leader say to me so sorry ana o say or raising objection on Amakofibu na appeal application na why before the speaker no na some of the speaker don't say head count no authority I say there be a choir or the process ne fashion no we be can say or abuse of process or abuse process no into our first speaker say on dismissing the application because I'm trying to claim then na you say but I say on the say or you should abuse of process, or person abuse of process, and the speaker end this message. Okay, yeah, and I'm a deputy majority leader, and therefore after the marking, as of what I say. Even that speaker, a car, or conclude say, and I think Rosaka say, and the eyes have it. And it about a decision and not a ruling of the speaker. And it every ruling there, and can speak up. So we can sort of challenge the speaker ruling now. As a sign of Mumramuno, or coming under substantive motion. And we will be coming to as all coming under substantive motion. Now, or the back, not the challenge. So, how procedure, and idea may be you. It take time to create this, and suddenly the corner about the challenge, or more a ruling. And the come by and say, what kind of a speaker can say? There be what this message first application now, majority leader, say. Abuse of power and abuse of process there. I am requiring so the more use and Nadia or Kai and I watch challenge and a deputy minority that can the market cannot say. Also can say there be speaker. Also just as a speaker and the key the word I think or near definite your opinion otherwise. Okay, Nana kwasi a head count no na create when na basa or Parliament House one now. Count no and I create when na. Say haircut. Haircut the haircut. Anyhow, some of the members anyhow. And here na kwa say the minority they have a way out. I rejected the budget, and I'm okay, so and the Parliament, the majority side, MPs ni bebre ni but minority side, and one of my but the MPs say honorable MPs Bernie and Sabi on say Judicial or our Canada OECD treatment. Who say Muhammad Yaraga anymore, and who says the natural role is so, and say you know more. I mean, almost with your money. Almost side and also nipa be and man be so anywhere. But say all majority side videos I answer can all majority side na e mu di da ho pa omo de wutumi se mu di da ho pa but later no mu be feel but the me betumi aka say me de mani afom no be almost 4 be so anywhere and the new how I be affect some count is already no mu bro almost by one by independent also by one and you say you mean say we na be kwa man na say we be kwa man but e be o man working out no dey. It could be say ABNA is not in their favor or not. I don't know, but unless the account me I mean the real numbers because that so that be working in to try to move and do more working in. I'm working and about majority side. And see as for what reason now more day speaker can't say young council no more dia na what sorry ni account but almost sorry ni on council my own anti atana ni edi man. Say young council my parties membrano and I'm majority to make SK for but speaker can't say the board dia no sorry ni on the account I want to sacrifice me no class by almost there as a speaker has not been fair to them on the because the majority party as say young council some the council no council but it may say the board dia no sorry ni account no one asabno not just the eyes have it no minority for no amugie no mu na nyaaye omu na win that ruling no the first one the majority for the rule and nyaaye but second that decision has been challenged by the minority for head count the head count na papa asomaba. Okay ejesi anugu so ayekase no minority for no ti ho majority for no omo se de yi omo so omo ha ne sei omo ya asapon ne sei omo ya asapon ni na say process no ekoso no omo feel say it's not been fair to them into omo work out no isabre ntomba yes and so chiamu ewo aha asikia na yakakoti omo say omo ya asapon na omo ha na yakakoti ankasa majority for minority for omo tete ho but what I say omo numbers no to reject the budget no you see another case I was the one say ba ma ko Supreme Court that there is so many half of the members to reject it. And for now, no dear, half of Parliament now. So 137 against 138. It's we half. They 138. Nane, honorable say chairman Sabon Sumuni enya we send because one more address press. Enti okay, yam pick life na yanko who say omo address na yanko.
If a member wanted to challenge he would have then to come with a challenge first. The member just got up and said that on account of Order 1132, he's inviting the Speaker to do a head count. That was not a challenge. So that was the issue the Deputy Leader raised. Then along the line, as we traveled, the Speaker then said, well, he made a declaration, he expressed an opinion that he thought that the ayes have it. So the member could challenge it. You are all there. You're all there. You heard the Speaker loud and clear. Why should a Speaker beat such a hasty retreat from what he had said? He said to us that he thought, and I'm quoting him, that I think the ayes have it. That is how speakers make pronouncements and determination. I think the ayes have it. And if he's convinced and persuaded, then he go further to say that the ayes have it. Or maybe I think the noes have it. The noes have it. That's how it's done. Once you say the noes have it, then the determination has been made. In this case, he said, I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Then you have a speaker making a U-turn, a sudden U-turn to say that no, he didn't add that the ayes have it. He just expressed an opinion. You're all there, you heard him, clear. And that's most unfortunate. That's most unfortunate. So we think that the proper thing should be done. So we raised these preliminary issues. However, when the dust settled, we said, okay, let's take the vote in spite of the initial objections that we have raised. Let's take the vote because he was insisting on the head count. Then we said, okay, we are available. Take the head count. What is happening is that there are 5 members of the minority who are not here. So all that he's doing is to play for time to enable them to come to the chamber. That is it. That's all that it is. What are the names of those of them who are not there?
Honorable Agyarko.
Agyarko is not here.
Honorable Zanato.
Sam George is not here. And Zanato is not here. Agyarko is not here. And Jechikwesin is not here. There are 5 of them who are not here. All that the speaker is doing is playing for time to enable them to find a way to enter the chamber. What kind of thing is this? What kind of thing is that? We insisted that, well, we're raising these preliminary issues. But you insist that you didn't say that. So I dropped it. I said, okay, so let's take the head count. And he said we're going to do the head count. What was he waiting for? And for good about 30 minutes, he's not doing anything. He's sitting down there. What's the import of it?
And now adopting a division procedure.
And now he says that, oh, we should get up and then go and write your name and then vote. That is a division. Did Anna Kofi-Boa call for a division? He said he was calling for a head count. So the speaker now wants to inject himself to say that no, it's a division. What kind of attitude is this? And that is why we left the chamber for him. But let him do his own thing. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the import of what you have done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'll speak to you again. That's all right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Dean. Fine. Thank you.
So you just heard the majority leader address a news conference in Parliament.
I so for the course of Parliament House no enti someone to asomo and Alhaji Nasiru Muhammad NDC communication team member Oma John me ti yento asom fanfrio abusafo Zami
okode
nyame adom
erade ase mama mfa
Nasiru na so what to say
Alhamdulillah, that I am party. A bad saying. Not Obina Canas was it. Nanke.
Naka send be any fee.
Naka send be any fee. And I be before Barbam.
Zami,
Nana. I mean, chair you and I mean, chair a tea for ne, I have for an chair large so. Na, and I will care that. I'm saying 70 Dawson.
And they jam I would that.
Yeah. My budget I would done so. Bansan and my anti parliamentary dear from floor.
Alternate.
Yeah.
Okay.
E levy. A dana or moko passing. because of biasness and now echo parliament the minority walked out. Walking out no. Deputy Speaker of Parliament Betina Mumu approve.
Yeah.
11. And the next majority are working out. Minim Parliament almost under orders no. But per the no. Logically it means Speaker bet me at them. Now minority for now Parliament no. No or more I can say I disapprove. I reject it 2024 budget in simplicity. Always o say chairman sabon person no chire the NC of Parliament. Omoya na sometimes we to say speaker na say ono so can say as me ne bi na so obi ani no agugu no speaker timi ema ruling na ono na sorry na deputy speaker of Parliament no aba betina no akwahye asset aside speaker ruling no setting the rules and it's going on. And it's a majority for working out or any Ghana for the same way a minority working out on e-levy approve you know. Only majority sat in the parliament and approve it you know. Speaker and na minority reject it 2024 budget you know. And no no. Now and chair so be ana and penny if you be no
but after say the nato ne Mahama Yarga Jechikwesi no mutimi form quorum.
They can we can the budget na approve for me or no can we come minority for the parliament or no majority no can any parliament now do when the entire or more running away from a head count na speaker here no you remember e-levy Saradwa Safuni Ghana ha MPP 40 ni kofa obi a ne nipadua ne se Saradwa Safudi nose mask e kata na no etwi ni no kokotena ho. We are in Japan, camera captured. We saw the president was why incorruptible. The application is now P no coy. And then Yakopa, there's no COVID-19. You will be any. And to be a Banabachod in the mode in a page. They know say they don't have the numbers.
In the head
now, free say, the free say, who majority, who are numbers. Than minority. What's the minority MPs, Makmako 5 in any and intino a Yababa Twaba. Yeah, but it means we know what we're and the speaker said for verification. Your board in Banabachod in and you will be original. So, free say one numbers no. Would you work out? You will not. Because only if you they don't have it. Because MPP always runs away from transparency. And think of percent claims and 2 rooms are not the confer for back door. That's what they want to do, or they have wanted to do. So speaker, Onyan and Naso now more rejected budget for Kankawi. Budget 20 December year when we want to be a Dibuna Hong Kong. Want to know speaker and trans Mamma San I'm a fan and you from
because Metie honorable is a Kadongo and I honorable Rekitega more Mokasoma cookie figures. Just say budget will be a fraud. Yes.
Oh, can I for that? I don't say signal chef it as a see. Who said so? Say camera hole. Me say people that knows a yek can offer. A becatcher says, Papa, we. The moon TV soon about 10 minutes. I know tea.
Or a wiki dankasa.
So you say camera or no, I no more bomb up as you name Cassa.
Pretend.
This to Becca's as one for bada. Now so cook
Now the power of how bad I want to say. The power for bad.
Power for
we can over that's one for bad.
That's of Ferrari or Ferrari.
I said, that's all one yes, as a father.
To Speaker of Parliament, we encourage you know, Kramun to Krana Nana.
Okay, but no, Mama, say I didn't tell you I'm allergic to other issues.
Well, media. Ubisamia, I think it's very obvious. Say, Nedi Kanya de Inchia, Sumo, Ebema, for ne, a TFO Gina. Na media Queniano, Chia, flag bearer, the nation builder, 24-hour economy vision, John Domani Mahama, and the order. Your parliament in Sensemnoa. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Many everyone want to say at least from Nigeria to two. People in it. Minimum record be a Chrese Abedu Parliament. Na ye kokain one kasa budget a wodi aba. Na wo dwane free parliament say onjina obiom na obi pesa osisiu. I've been who be da since 1992. Ebe payment. Enti me who say all these things no science are kire obi biara say bibi kese bi atochiba ewo MPP aban bo mu. Je say ebi mu kura wo ho mo de o mu say yembo mpai na wo mo entumi yen kudu December 7th no na yen to aba no isa say ne ekosoro enye bibi papa clearly when we say game and a majority for no episode mobile, it is very, very clear game. But I'm struggling to get to some of our MPs. Na yate woman side of the story. At least we need to also understand the other side of the story. Na yehuno direction NDC for no so pese fa. Ye adwin pefe say Ghana for omo ajenkwa ba ko a wo sa MPP aban we mu the minority in parliament and speaker inti bibi biara wo mo betimi aya ye be ma aban we ejina de nan so aye dwumaden aye ne esefata no wo mo so inti na obomu say majority for one kasa edwane free from a budget. So let's see how it unfolds until I hear from the NDC side. So na yehu sania nyoma no ebisi ako.
Okay. Honto yamko special prosecutor ni issues matters ifumo ba. Na mame mfa awoda nsam sronkonkoma omampeni John Dramani Mahama. Iman happy birthday. Na onono se ne yiri di birthday no mu ni di. Ti se no susu di a one ne yiri ni di. Enti mame Lodi. Ma so happy birthday. It's a moody boom. Okay. Yeah. Mani efe. Ukuna shewe ni munyam. Said there was show ukuna ni munyam. Bema die edenia. Me bema se bi wafa ni yirechi. To me and shada nye big deal. And crowd we will kind then. Name obano mami ude mami name obana wafa yirechi akofa no. Enne cheso egu yire ni mu ase anas wa sho yire ni munyam. Obano a ofa yiri echi. Ekofa no. Ni sunu ni ban no ni nipa bia no. Enne mi hu se Bema bu ofa ni yire chi na oba obakwa so yes wa hye ni yire ni munyam because say oba we pa na bema atimi asa na yire ho akwa no na still la oda so e ware ni yire no a. Okay. Manenko Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim ho Banda MP ye ne nkwatwetwe komo deputy minority whip ne nko bisande ekoso parliament. Alada, praise the Lord.
Hallelujah, menaba.
Na ede na ekoso parliament ya kenoforiata ba budget approval anya ntie se majority side a stage workout ede na ekoso.
Yeah, I think we MP area. Don't take it area na mutio. Le aban say about parliament say about budget debate. The minority majority leadership no at force in the can kasa or kasa 53 minutes. And honorable official members so back kasa on also kasa 46 minutes. And to mukasa we there was a speaker of parliament I put to question. Into put two question no and majority for no I say yes. And a minority for no I can say no. And I can say not JN say for more muka yes no and they do so. Who can say yeah, I can say I don't know what declare say okay for more muka yes general correct. I think that I have it. And tonight, or the first one declare results and say, okay, the highest value. Into one kind of I think the eyes have it now, and honorable Amakufibua, deputy minority leader. For no reason objection by order 113 through 2. The speaker can say, I think the eyes have it, and I said the nose have it. That ruling of Mr. Speaker, we challenge. In the end, I'm out of people. I said, why be here? We say, seeing the eyes in the may say, and you're not plenty, and the young count. The majority of them say, the young count now, only into me, as an ambassador by Tama, they could draw no more. The panel more monomile. And I speak, of course, and of course, as the hair count no crampo, you both there. Now, what for another Marco said they are minister dear only 8 minutes to Abanabi. Into a cast, I don't know there. Instead of my ending up and no more out. And the majority from walk out. Nandi.
But majority are working out. Matison was HMN Sabo Susuke Camo, Mosai, one more MPs best of 5 a woman, one more. Still now, I'm also saying one.
Oh, now. The offensive is about to air kind. The only say any 137, 95 anywhere. Then there be a better 1 to 2. And the couple of younger hair camp, I didn't guess all done. I mean, so why would some of those say,
hello, okay. But honorable Yansha 2022, this e-levy issues in the bayano. Ya kaisa mu work out. Ama sabra no majority for a car one more omo pass e-levy. Some walk more one kwam some ko challenge wo court kwama obi ko challenge wo court kwama ye bogu say mo ko ye no kwa de na kire say some work out kwa no nchesa mama enti ni e-levy ye pass e some majority for so work out there say ne procedure bia process bia say koso bia na betimi akoso amama ye afa budget ni ho ana
eno na speaker na so send the house na ye ten amana be kan yo work atre
say mo twese speaker ba suspend proceedings into mo twese obeba no aba beka
majority for no work out and I speaker I suspend proceedings the ten amana ba
it is speaker ba omubo ma mo na chese budget ne no either say ye be pass and say be reject
speaker nyama no ruling oba head count and obey
okay yeah that's it is still na omo my own
my apetu no mu so adomani
okay that's it yeah that's it enumere yeah that's honorable
yo that's our friend
okay honorable Ahmed Ibrahim MP Banda Deputy Chief Whip Minority Chief Whip and so ena enne kwa enti sane ekeka no an sa pepenity omo nso enti omo bo delay tactics bia ma omo nkrofo ni bi ababa be wem eno an omo
the foreign materials ba be wem
but enye possible
omo nya hu say aprawo boda no e say inspection na tight no any about to go it's easy to read them anyway na mama nto amasem so na me ma president Mahama happy birthday na sima me kan say be ma de kenye so be fa o yirechi
nya bone
yes bible kran ka sentia ne momo ya ye no famra kwan so ne mum oba na obe fa o yira kwa echi akofa no oba no suni ni ba na chesa o yire wabu nanim tia na so mu nanim tia ebi a me ka se oba no akofa no o yirechi no sebio na ho ofe ni nimdie ni suba kra ye sene o yire ni sini nyina echi wa nya o yire woda so na yire ho na mum atwa fa echira ka se yes wo do ma o yire ne mum so ba na akofa no sebi oye monyo o mo number ogu yire ni masi
poto
na bejina bejo na my beautiful Rebecca and so do birthday so do birthday so do mi ama e pek wa fono ho na supi kofa o yire chi a supi ene ho sensem ena ide abanti I don't know president mama happy birthday na ene
but I say ultimately ko you will be lesbian partner so a problem
yeah
say ukunu partner ko you will be lesbian
say ukunu the chair says so ultimately ko fa lesbian ewe chia like so kuru betima kofa ne yonko bema. Yeah, it runs in the family. Sure. Now on a serious note, special prosecutor. Now the kutemo hai Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2007 Act 959. In the kitami. Now Oko Act now. Act 4. It talks about mandate of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Oba Act 3. That's 3 and it talks about functions of the Special Office of the Special Prosecutor. If you want more, now Oba Act 50. 50 talks about application for confiscation order or pecuniary penalty order. Then Act 54 no talks about procedure against property where a person dies or absconds. That's what Johnny. Nana Yankai Act 3 no. Functions of the Office of Special Prosecutor. Or say, to achieve the object, the office shall A. Investigate and prosecute cases of alleged or suspected corruption and corruption-related offences under the Public Procurement Act 2003 Act 663. B. Investigate and prosecute allegations of corruption and corruption-related offences under the Criminal Offences Act 1960 Act 29 involving public officers, politically exposed persons, and persons in the private sector involved in the commission of the offense. C. Investigate and prosecute alleged or suspected corruption and corruption-related offences involving public officers. But okay, makan honum. Uber D honum na D no say. Recover and manage the proceed of corruption. We Office of the Special Prosecutor na juma. Yedi asha nsa Parliament hamani tumi. Gani yamani tumi so mfanye na juma no. Na yanko at 50 no. At 50 no eka se confiscate obi eja pade anaso ode nsa eto obi eja pade eso. Or say 50 at 50 no say. Application for confiscation order or pecuniary penalty order. Or say where a person is convicted for corruption or corruption-related offences, the special prosecutor may apply to the court for the following orders. A. A confiscation order against property that is deemed to be tainted property. Or B. Pecuniary penalty order against the person in respect of benefit derived by that person from corruption or corruption-related offences. Enti se special prosecutor esusi se nana wo ye kankane poni dream bi no be nhwemu a otimi court ma ni tumi na wo eja pade awo wode ne nsa to so ko so be ni hwehwemu awie ene ye ata ene de ma special prosecutor ni mra ode ye adwumani okọ court na wakobisa na court ama ni tumi na wa freeze wo properties anasa japade be freeze bia obetimi anya bibia freeze otimi ni sato ni nyina so na amakwan amwaye ni hwehwemu but
in a case of Stella Blanda pa or court ne koje that Emma court granting okay
oba 54 no at 54 no procedure against property whereas a person dies. Or say special prosecutor shall apply to the court for confiscation order in respect of tainted property if the person from whom property was seized enti se uwumpo na se anase wodwane ye special prosecutor ye wasemu hwemu se wo no wasemu hwemu waja pade bi ofi se ho asemu a wotumi ede ne nsa to so anase nipa na dwane a wotumi de ne nsa eto so. Was say whereas the special prosecutor applies for confiscation order in respect of property under this section, the court shall therefore, hearing the application for the confiscation order, require notice of application to be given to a person who appears in the opinion of the court to have an interest in the property. Tiamfan says, "So when japade no yawodia, wo uko, but obi na re akire. ana wadwane obi na ewe japade na chi sa nipa no kokoto a awoso no kokko chirim ekokko ginam ko chirim enti special prosecutor tini na djuma pepepe na ene President Mahama asimo kan say posterity will judge his contribution to Ghana. And I'm saying no a case enye case President Mahama say okay si Ghana a case on how Ghana for you treat Mahama na say what they want no ka busisem egu obi a onni wuni fo a edane no me edema nti a safe case a Ghana yeni ankase ya trate to ourselves and ediaba and President Mahama was 65 years oba be di 4 years be wie no na or 70 years ti 2020 best on 2025 and 2028 no wenya 70 years or for failing in life bibia wa wie. President Mahama once again has been vindicated. President Mahama over the years kasa de koso wa atenu atena ye entechia a koso ho Ghana fo nya gidie nya rehemu wa atenu atena ye a o hye se eye dangerous to our democracy na oka na MPP 40 agunu sise mobro no ma bedi na tem nanso President Mahama asema oka nyina na nkofo abefu ano so beka asem kro na so fi MPP one of them Kanapa Minister for National Security one na share just kwesi anim yeboa the immediate past Chief Justice the only Chief Justice ayabod ko adu sa wo ye kronfo wujie the media $5 million wantime anyi ne ho ano no de kwa ahomegiem when catch and say de bia ye the political case ba court wa na aba no mabu ama no dangerous Emma Ghana fo nya gide nya rehemu ewo atemu atraye no ekoba ne saa enkrofo be famra hwo musem aye de ompeso mo ya emfasum dwema ohwene no ka kire no open eye forum no ka sasem na de kire no Justice William Atuguba enso na no ne lecture say yes so dey Ghana ebeka the same thing enyama wodo a ekoso ho ye were retired court of appeal judges almost wa be repeat the same thing and your office of the special prosecutor himself another appointee of a Kufuado government was it on person Becca say Ghana we are doomed but was it we are facing doom but the truth of the matter and said they no person can say Ghana we are doomed or can some or citing 4 cases na nya ha na no amebetra na meka desi no na maka me say before nyankopon bo nipa no nyankopon ambo nipa said they were uncompleted building nyankopon ambo obi oye incomplete and incomplete God created a complete human being nyankopon bo nipa odimu enti answer nipa be ko skwa kosua se de sisi dan no nyankopon amasawo ni kro na adwe de sidan enti ancient times sabre no na o man kwa architecture school civil engineering but now o musi dan ya stronger than ene obi en law school en kosua law en be ye lawyer en be ye judge no nyankopon ama the sense of reasoning and sense of judgment a wotimi se we papa we ye bone woni we di asem a wasem a woka di entosum we di entosum nti we di bim we di fo nyankopon abasa nipa omba nipa da sanni sanim die no nipa ko school kokosua medicine no na nyankopon aba nipa nim dia ye de sayade enti Africa many years ago na Africans black people na ye omiye brain surgery I am found to computer so enso omiye brain surgery in Africa wonko school da emindia nyankopon de manipa nemum school ni ndia ne dia ba say di obi nimu no a wu nimu no ko ne ko sua bi ene me di school e bae entina meka se yensua nyansa wo school yesua nimdie e wo school bi obi nimu a watro de ato wo no wunim ntimi so kwa akosua bi na wo de abeka wo de ona de abobra ti yesua nimdie wo school yensua nyansa e wo school na law no mo kan nyina no nyina so e natural justice ade aye papa ye nyina ni bone yenim common sense e fie nyansa yenim logic ade logic ne say ukika we si we ni mu a e make sense ukika we si we ni mu a e make sense ntinyama mensa natural law logic and common sense emra na nu anie enti ruling bia ya de beba nana what the common sense to ho na say e make sense a e problematic ruling bia ya de beba bia nana what the to scale of a logical scale so a enya adwuma nana e make sense ruling bia de beba nana we use common judgment and as natural law nyakopo de amade to nemfa e problematic. One, he mentioned Sir John a government official we don't even pass through we will not have share ban dwuma ni ani de siketua neka etiye for kuntuna se amo maga na japade enkwa ya di ama ne se ono mo ho ban ni tua neka no na otu galamse wom na wasan de ono company no wakoto pick up no abedonate di ama abaya so forestry commissioner no da no abedonate di ama mo se omfa enko protect ono mining site okwa yemi wana Ghana for him se company ne se John dia may he so rest in hell. Now wasan fa forest guard I the taxpayers money chane ka so monko bo ono ne galamsey site ho ban Achimota forest is here reserved. No, I check the man bushing for. Within these few years, we occupy all these properties. Na asemwa ba ni wila like magana for nyina na special prosecutor. Ghana say a man the man no ye act 5959 no be creating office of the special prosecutor and say corruption and corruption related a year offenses and ade also sekankan pro na adwiri mu bia no special prosecutor ti bi wam kwanhwemu na sana na kobasa abanja pade Ramsar site abanja pade no bia adwuma ni na se wu na se hu se woni will mu a na won suspect corruption na special prosecutor confiscate all these properties say mwa yesimu na mundi ade ama mo forever no mo de mo ntwen na menye mi hwehwe mu nwie miye mu hwehwe mu wie na se wanfa kwa bone so nya ya se nya o ma ne dia o may enjoy forever we de court a na judge abosa asem na to agu me nkote e se sa judge no oba na otena sa case ni so no se John Adamfo say
oni ni boko suata
say se John Adamfo pa nyonko pa eno no boss asem to gu ye
how se o boss mu egu asem we asem aye bo
aye nim se Ramsar site ya ban asase obi enu Ramsar site a wo mo beka se asase we die me to fra hemfo ho da bi Greater Accra regional minister Henry Kotenam sa ono so na ma chenya no so sitem no oton according to Kennedy Japan Atimota forest obi enu sa Atimota forest ya ban japade na akodi ankrankra we nsamansie mu court say my investigate my freeze. Does it make sense to common sense? Does this really make sense to logic? Does this really make sense to natural justice? Yet because you see me be the democracy. Obianim say aboase bo anu nwie miensa. That's one ekununa beka. Ghana, how you can criticize, you see, was 3 arms of government. You were legislature, parliament, you were executive, president in Aswafo, and you were judiciary. What me criticize the president, a firm hoodie. It me criticize the parliamentarians for hoodie, but don't me koka judges of wasem. And some car was say, or mukran it me ka or masam recklessly.
Yes.
Na yakoda etem kromo edame ho toyen or mumpo because they're supposed to use the law to protect you and I But because they don't want people to be posting their nose in their evil businesses. And to me, the side come to be not share contempt. And then who said Nancy Ghana for any bar so can say there be some contempt and it doesn't make sense. No, who say I feel almost I think of for contempt. I say yeah they are chow. Person white we are chow. We are their chow. Because what we say Ghana for any air basso. Use the court system. Na law no Ghana Parliament here dey say say ama special prosecutor to me some fanko say adwuma no. One person sit at the court and say no, you cannot investigate, you cannot freeze and yes subjoin properties even when those properties in baby one no eya benja pade cry cannot. We let it go. Also mention another case, La Bianca. Nana, La Bianca case ni say Special Prosecutor Act ma Special Prosecutor kwan say busumi afibia no say quarterly I have a half year 6 months bia no I was say we do report baba case ben na we ho adwuma de na we di ho asem de na gusu no de aba we ye ni report about La Bianca and we indict Canada mo akwa fa so indict ni openi anu a deputy commissioner of customs in charge of operation Joseph Educhei report in citing say on the issue on lawful custom advance ruling to La Bianca unlawful say on na say La Bianca sato mentua enfamra kwanso no no ye deputy commissioner no no ye no ruling ni wie no na Canada moa approve ye and omoma La Bianca evade those taxes and special prosecutor ye ni hwehwemu no ekosi ase no essence na wrong grant is those that money no a ominvedi no they pay that money. La Bianca was compelled to pay that money back to the state coffers. I will try 1 million Ghana cedis over. What you? Then Canada Moano our non act any deputy act Emma a private company La Bianca evade tax. Special prosecutor enu hwehwe mu a La Bianca na nkasa jutumi sampa ma yamfun so watua nika no wo mo asa afa akira court say special prosecutor report na asite o mo na guomani mu ase for defamation to court enkre omudin na court say yes ampa mo samana me bae no yes special prosecutor report no agum hufin enti sa report no kwa me court metwam eni ho munya bani bia. So manya boni bia the identity La Bianca sika ne mfa money back because manya boni bia there was no any tax evasion, there was no any unlawful ruling by the deputy commissioner, but in this case these people admitted La Bianca naka san sorry no not tax ni metia we am ba remintia somebody gave that ruling and a catch and say you can pay this amount, you are not supposed to pay this amount. Did the Nepal cast on no and let a special prosecutor and the better just say no, that was unlawful ruling. What admitted to the guilt. What SS cano. And then those people who are more out of negligence. Emma La Bianca evaded tax. The court is on from Subia and Tiakla Momunya Bonibia. Special prosecutor crash a go move into your boss special prosecutor cut 100 million on Kutia. Then court to say special prosecutor bet my investigation be we as name say nipa mienu we Abichei ene Canada moa untimi no investigation bia about La Bianca ma brow untimi nhwehwemu bia fan from ho. This is happening in Ghana, a country as a democracy. Meanwhile actually say any corruption and corruption related offenses be a special prosecutor is mandated to investigate, and a high court judge is telling the special prosecutor say you cannot, especially when me doba or so many untimi nyomu nsemu hwehwemu bia. Do you know why Canada mo e contesting with MPP prime minister or parliament aba now we say ade obesin say ni kom a de be campaign na tian one constituency awoko because special prosecutor report na indict no of wrongdoing, corruption and corruption related offenses. No one person started embassy and come to see a clear no, and was see a whitewashing. Said the bill being to me, you that message no against him or the election or the contest are all. This is happening. Ghana a film democracy. Now if you have listened to the special prosecutor, said you now can so you be your dog Ghana near your dog my Ghana or so sweet trust no small man. Or see trust no suma ye may. Another case will make you reference Charles Bissiu. Say special prosecutor your nutrition. One a car say CID for nutrition more. Special prosecutor and Timmy nutrition. One a car say Yoko for nutrition more. Special prosecutor and Timmy nutrition.
There be say omu nutrition more. Omu clear wa.
Yes, on Timmy nutrition more. Say, Yanya tia say. Charles Bisu Jessica 50,000 left and right from a year room to me secretary
to office.
One more you almost on Kobo and Sass in your buying. Now or them dear video live.
50 bondo say ya 200.
Now you see Tiwa Adudanko no the 1% MPP abambeji dimboni empo when they commit crime. Say oh my clear without any investigation. Now special prosecutor another report to aba onunu ya ne hwehwemu indict Charles Bisu. Then Charles Bisu runs to court. Now court to catch and say yes when we do was so many Charles Bisu untimi nya ne nsemu hwehwemu ma ne nyeye until special prosecutor go to hell. Let my investigate obia enye Charles Bisu and a suspected criminal for only running to court. Echo seeking judge said men found some coming and the court will grant without the court even giving the special prosecutor opportunity to even cross it to say why say to say why sentence and person anything court said that be won't to me. We are not the catchers the criminals etinima. Charles Bisu etinima. Charles Bisu nima enotie. Another issue kai Cecilia Branda pa. Nana uko already at na. I can prefer say politically exposed or say Act 3 no C investigate and prosecute alleged or suspected corruption and corruption related offences involving public officers, politically exposed persons. Since Labrana pa a political officer or a public officer was I politically exposed. What's the kaida $1 million and she Ghana for so special prosecutor may say the day I reliably informed and I don't want to mention him. And don't call Cecilia Branda pa them hono. Cecilia Branda pa was begging office of the special prosecutor office or for me to say mo scan mo scan mo fa. Now if they tell you the kind of amount they discover and how they discover those money Ghana democracy is never good for Ghana and Africa. Sikani yeso achichiribu onto magun na shaha wachichiribu odukum na shaha we she brand and fibu na gwache say it's like school ni akola a 5-year-old boy and as a class 1 student people we free school aba now we ra hall na we say in the bag wa to atwene ha ni socks we da ha na ni pabo we da ha sa pepepe na ni room wa yiska no watoto apete we shaha wachechire ntumagum we abono aboso we she bukumu we she brand everything we she politics na ya chechire sa ni gugu wasa and almost says cano and she was crying begging them say mo this can monfa mo da mon kasa mo ba mo be hu bibia e wo me fie. Do you know what happened? When special prosecutor invite him or call my office one no omo chese wo fie no e wo hemfa ana o chese mi fie no ha ana mo so fie na te sen wo chire okay unwura mu a hemfa na bedroom so mu ko ne bedroom no ko yes ka no and to bedroom no wo hemfa because me bedroom unwura ko on ma obefa unwura say we say we bedroom and to us special prosecutor officers no now they were sketching and when omu ya na say ne enko fie ne nkonko he so why expected that. And omu kodi ye no and omu leading na because already no ma sketch omu ni the bedroom was straight to the bedroom omu ko the money and the go do so pro. She was begging public officer and politically exposed person. Special prosecutors who are freezing accounts were ye enhwehwemu less than few weeks then court say we are running to court say na ho chire no ne kuru nya ni di meanwhile more freezy a political opponent NDC for my freezing for contractors for sika for 4, 5, 6, 7 years ya mobile my freezing for sika you come sankai all those people are surviving. But we just 1 month no one running to court. The court to say fanisi kamano because we nyam from so bia because of special prosecutor no onye hwehwemu bia pa mai. Meanwhile this act na dem aso special prosecutor say you have the right to go to court to ask for Caesar. Yen freezy say the betimi aboa mo atima your investigation akosi aseye. But the court say no. Uni sa kwani timi nye. And you allow all these people, all these cases are also Sir John MPP, La Bianca MPP, La Bianca a Council of State member. Now I'm saying one day we have to find time and go to the Council of State members we have. Most of them are criminals. And then Crawford will this position just to cover up their criminal dealings. Because it gives a certain amount of immunity. That's why Crawford told Japade just to bribe people to have their way through. La Bianca ye MPP, Charles Bisu ye MPP, Sisabana pa ye MPP. Ediana Modikaya, esa se mesa, Heyman sa se mesa Modikawa so nene ya sign was so. Send pana abodi na including Canada mo na ye MPP. So the government fee said it's making them unpopular. And now let's hide behind the court. Na million na obekaya the BMP for tato na mobile na so kofu aban akronfo kofu aban na akronfo mobile mantima anchi obia. This is why MPP always commit crime with impunity, because when him say at the end of the day police for chino police for cannot pass judgment when they go court and then before I go to court because when say court where they must secure her every. And we cannot fight a corruption in this country with this kind of people. Okay. So we a judge na se ne dia be ne special prosecutors mo kene na ne kwakwa ne pina na ne kasa ye no ne kwakwa na ne pina na kasa just 1 minute me wrap it the only kasa and friend is saying Wilson I know so you're anti-corruption crusader, but I can say I was highly disappointed after listening to him. Who a corruption crusader also kuti akankane prenu dream Ghana ye din kunimo akankane prenu dream no so why do you still carry yourself as a corruption campaigner when we have not won the battle against corruption? And you are asking the special prosecutor to resign because then what's your business carrying yourself or calling yourself anti-corruption campaigner when you know that corruption has really intensified, when you know very well say Ghana nobody fights corruption without corruption fighting back? I thought say he was going to support the special prosecutor near Mr. Judiciary critical questions. But Babiao Namlet says special prosecutor and confirm a Duman to her because I don't am from so Ben or yes, what the Labianca said. Okay, Alaji, also. As I'm sure for Picasso. I sound the all canoe. Yeah, yes, and some more canoe.
As if you walk out, Lady Kai Menawo Ekase, the Empire Mebos is here and said, my special prosecutor, man resigning.
Or son resigning.
And yes, I was so. Crawford or Mudilio. Wouldn't you papa a resignation acquire or Yashano by the press. Encounter no year and then a bumpire someone so and resigning. But by your mo young briefy, sir, and at least by one casamuki say jabbing Ghana food in name who say, Sir Officer, yet in the say and fire propaganda. And yes, yet to say, Yeriba Queti, I ate your point in the catastrophe. The entire American say. Emra na Martina Midu e kan ho nsensem no no bia fi say Martina Midu no ye NDC ni na mokofa no entina na oye yesa nia oye no mom me we fi say Martina Midu ma yete ase say na aban no aye nhihye say onumum onkofa NDC fo emra no mo ntwe mo abo so ono se sa de no onye corruption no ye de ne ewo so sisi a esha ase ansa wakohwe ne esi daa no
you and yes process work you obi de
so hu ya meka no enti asema matina medu ka che yen ya ne kisi enso abe shemu kinano that is say bibi kese bi ekoso bibi a ewo say ye twetwe ya adwen braso den ena kisi ajabe ekafa ye court ho tama mete se wonu kasa no muton eka se the court is to apply the laws not to grant immunity to accused persons eba me hunduri me inti se asemo ana obi aka wo man mo ha se omampanyin na do danko akofo ado court na de bia be da sori na ne yase high court judges or the 5 aka ho ochina or the 30 aka heaven say appeal court judges so ochina or the 5 aka supreme court ochina we new chief justice ni na ekeka ho ampa se wo mo ye dia ejuma ye hyehyɛ ejuma no wo ti boys no mo ye fraud no mbeka se ye hyehyɛ ejuma se ejuma na mo hyehyɛ esanse this asemwa every obienum eba every the special prosecutor num na eka say the courts are granting immunity to accused persons no a grievous international community obi biara obi ate sa asem we ya ye bu ye court enimu ase. There is no value, there is no stature left with the dignity of our law system. Uru nesunzu aso ne se me no wo yeti hei se BBC a yen twen anka se ave na ye ko police every police abe ko court na ye ko di asema ma yen na yenya justice into instant justice ene be den ene be sha se be ye ejuma na ye ko back to 80s anamwa the early 80s ya chi UCC anu na kom wo ho na ya hyehyɛ ne ties ye gofia wo Lagos Nigeria na ya hyehyɛ no so the saying say omampanyin na nado danko akufo do ni baomia aside the yanko back 40 years 30 years back no ehun so so e da ye hunu a e bai kise jabe aside ka say oye no ranger ankomenam na nipa de be ne a obetimi aye edu nimre a no ko efinenu ton anko yes odi ne krabo afore kisienja bia yede ne ba enya no less a person than the Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana and the jina man no okika no wonsam atse say onu na baba be ye djuma no matina mi do antumi aye no and they say onu nko no na nam onu nko anenam esa say corruption no adware wom e wo bibia enti wo ka say wo na wo be quality corruption na corruption be quality aw in other words or catcher will say the entire government machinery is corrupt. That is the meaning of the statement. The entire government machinery is corrupt. And it is a corrupter. Women kwadi obede na wakweti ya because obi anika abai ni mwa obebuano. Now moving forward, Osha say kise jaben kachire say Ghana is facing doom. That is say yakopemu ono corruption onim ene senia aban woni also mobuano mom kutia po ne katahyehe no wo mon yewu na ye kare sa no a wote fabrode betu chok wote Gambia number 1 ewo ahafo region wote yevenzai sogakope what central region wo bibi na wo kwan ne ya kan hu ne say nti a wo kwan ne ye no eye project fita kese no ekoso wo ban we mu
krono fita
project ne katachise ene krono
no
ene krono no ene nti na wo kwan ye ntumi ye o mama nka bi nti awo enkran ha anye hwe kura no His Excellency John Dramani Mahama born homebody Emma in epunsuo kuraro yasone so Emma ebimu enya enomuye edi ejuma in the Labadi area womunsuo emfa tap for so many years answer John Dramani Mahama eba wo kom Madina wo kom miamia bebria na sikaro John Dramani Mahama breso ye bibi ma kaye nyina. And no me no work say woko Accra West for the past 3 months. In sure I've lived in Accra all my life.
In sure training echi.
In sure Emma.
In sure training
Baby, in sure ma. We are going back to the Kufuor Gallon days. What we were. What be say into ye ka corruption once a man sina won ka say e bia sika bi na wa ban mu a ebi mu ewia wo sika no a ye de be ye na e be boa wo oba e ko school na o ko 1 month e ba ye si wo bi ye first year na form 1 o ko 1 month ba na o sa go 2 weeks ba ye si wo bi first
degree
one kasa wo ko hospital ene renal unit Kolebu your teaching hospital eye jumano Labadi polyclinica meno wo ekasei wo mo entumi ensensi biomu na ni nyina no every prayer ne katahye ne krono vita na sa krono no bi no wo ka ni ya kasa no okobo Canada moadi efa corruption special prosecutor hwehwemu efa mu. What can I say? A massa la bianca some by ya Canada moya boni dino. Onya kukuduro ejina simpi so katre Ghana poni na say special prosecutor ni akwala no nim ne ekoso
small boy.
Also nim ne ekoso. Na corruption me na me. Wonim bedi ya disikaro. That is what it means to me. Yeah, wonim bedi ya disikaro kwa wo be kasa wo be twe o be nhwehwemu ama wache yen. Now, there is one critical thing of me, and that's already the beginning of my say. Many way wouldn't say God be watching Dako, on ya by Munipa. Wouldn't say God be watching Dako, and so be say, or by the oath of secrecy in the Ekikaho. Then a sermon about Ghana, ha, and ya God watching Dako, and the first person or the Betuda. Okuna document one. Proene katahye ben embra a yebu te say yebu no by hearts no ne wahi ene so sen wi se huni aban on so bibia nchire obia no, you are not accountable to anybody.
When others who have also sworn the oath of secrecy are leaking information too.
You're correct. Na te say no oman no abeye na ewo ho no ekasei asenso boache enye ne ene started won so as a deputy chief of staff amanfo te na asem siye aye nyina ye hu A+ tese ekotwe tiwa de dankwa ba ya ebeye nsem to tiwa de danka no num tom se mamonka enkogu aban no enimu ase no kasa ne abrofo ene nenam ewiase afa na nyina obi ate so oba ye je $20,000 ansa wotumi ehu omampanyi dentina obi biara wo MPP aban obeje sika na wabo omampanyi ne na bodi ekire din se Fabrance wako hu because e de bema wo denti what say wo mo asore akasa chia sa de reda what say mo asore akasa asemo aye ka ne ya twe hufuru mu enti me bisasa ene meno wo ekase ya omampanyi abedi etire Alhaji Baumia ni officer ya ni onwa ni staff ke kosei akwase sa obi emu ade ba say yemfa haram mu because wokubia na ode bama wo ma omu ye chiriwia haram wo sore wo so na wo Muslim. Now you are representing Islam Muslims interests. Na ye ntwetwemu wo special prosecutor office ho sake concern what say ya permanent free ho. What say ya permanent free ho. PDS ehun sensemene o that what matter say the independent power producers no wo mo asaka wo mo hu biom say wo mo de aban no say na wo masiko no ebo show wo mo say obetua no wantumentua enti Ghana for ehwe ni mani muyara ye be say akodum so no mu biom esa so mo they can continue to produce the power yentua wo contractors yentua wo obi biara wa ye edwuma ama aban yentua wo eno no kra ne betua wo no asada ne edwuma within the MPP administration ni mu say me na me kwaji usika abrɛw enti fa say bra. This is how deep corruption has eaten into our fabrics. Ata say ankwala kra ni mu ne say corruption no edu bebia yentimi ye ho hwe na yakutu nipa say wono na enbeku entia saa de no a say eno so na ye ye bezai alo na ye 419 say mun nipa beto say wono na beku etia pro ene kata hyehyɛ but me de ya make no say anye hwe kura no ene Ghana fo nyina ehunu se po ne kata hyehyɛ no adokore MPP aban no obamia ne nanado eda enimu no esen bibiara na sa po ne kata hyehyɛ no the only way a yan nyina as Ghanaians ye betimi akuetia because ne court no ntimi nkuntia special prosecutor suya kyerɛ and this is the second one or no so asu akyerɛ besides the say special prosecutor since that no ayeka say omampanyin nanado aton sanfo no say ombra o ka say won tumi ma bisa say from that day be pem ne ya man sika won office ho ana say won fa ye adwuma ntimi mo bae say won so man resign o because won so resign dey ane ye nim ya ye de be ba obium ye mbo ho pae because onim ye ntia ne wo betu no mutu ka kire Ghana for the ekoso wo
no kra no mo threaten so kra kan
ina make am tell no ina make am tell no
threaten list o say
they have been threatening him
na won te Facebook so who MPP defense social media warriors so yes so wono oba se obekwetia MPP fo na o investigate obi ada
judges kra be bon ho po
yeah
correct
judges be bon ho po
correct so in America that is how deep the situation is.
If Sisira Brother can offer money to special prosecutors ekonife ko search ni some dem mfa na momumidin na wamfa na sesasem na kwa kudu court. Is it not possible say she can easily also offer the same money to a judge to say so we dey maminya mitrim kudim? Is it not possible?
Judge no and you been appointed no he feels his allegiance to Nipa no appointed no because some of them have been appointed wabra woman to kura say be appoint o mo akọ bibi o ye de o mo akọ no so the allegiance to Nipa no sa Nipa no so ana po na kata hyehyɛ no kro no nyina e koso no ya ma ye hu no say ono na ye the head ono na ye pemre mu maame no a ye po na kata hyehyɛ pemre maame no cobra ata se sika bia hwa krono bia besi wo MPP aban mu nanado dan kwa kufa do ne ba me a wo hye wo krono bia wo mu nti o mo wo kukuduro o mo de ye wo hye wo mu enye kwa se utie obi a ye be chi o mo tape so a ye se o mo kase wie pe o mo so na me de wo be ko nanado ho na me de wo be ko ba me ho na wo de 2000 ba na wo de 5000 ba wo de 100 million ba because wo mo hye so mu
se ministries ni sectors no and the sub budget sky allocate we the quire allocate we the quire ye kojilu the quire bia ministry we na eko etinu ya body say Cecilia brother World Bank for $3 million say de kwati odomu sika no omo che na Cecilia brother pa nya nse
correct
etu on Cecilia brother pa no body din say for $3 million and one kwati odomu no she doesn't care
because
yes
only baby affair our kumsi we mujida because you know you can see other than our kumsi 3 million people so one village one dam na sikana the man on sikana
that's a list of amaju
all chewing gum 250,000 what would you food that
yedimu papa yedim tramwa na wole nam MPP office ho eni nam letter ndiase na ne we be ka kire yen say $250,000 yesika really so the long and short of it ne say mema million so abamu na maka kire Ghana for say we have a duty. And that duty is to collectively stand up to defend our democracy. And the only way you be defending democracy, you know, and you say you be about full about time chrono, you be two about at your tears abano abano. Now ne unim me who say ubi choice say ubi nim no kotoaba. One some prominent person
Citizen Kofi
correct Citizen Kofi
yeah.
Okay, I say obi nim no kotoaba ema
the next 20 years
20 years yes and yeah 24 years in the next 20 years who kotoaba ma MPP na we man boni
yes
say not only 2024 not limited to correct not limited to 2024 beyond 2024 for 20 years come now 2044 yes 2044 from and occupying 2044 when him now to about MPP now we are man bofu
was he siwabo
yes we are man bofu it is son also you who about one na you to about the tier muturo bebre na okaso obewia want to be wia enti mu sori waka na you to about my excellency John Ban Mahama anye hwe kura no se papa ye hwe a bone so ye den enye hwe
ne populisto we mpacho onto fa mi TV camera ni siniso
I'm got a list of
Abeduma waba
duty cost nti you say alaji bank amemma but
ai
ana se bi aboko
nyame adom
mama chete for menchia menua alaji Nasiru na menchia honto
dense
odi abasubode na na yede bema mo ne adwumaso a mo slate ne kaba besna na obomo my Ghana nanama sometimes it's so sad say yetna ho hwe nipa binom ma omo gradually edi ebe ko how kese pa mu se enye nyame a na basam odura omani democracy no ka say da. I thank God say many soja anko ebiye media nka ba na kama yeku mi do nyame me kama ye me nko a obi anka kama ye ti ana mi de nyame asese ene mani bi wo a ono a ne na basam oduru no nim ne oye hwe nanama democracy pene betini ama this nonsense will fester. Democracy pe. I don't see any form of government ebetimi ama sa nyoma we yakoso. We cannot find anything characteristic of a government. What type of government or what type of governance Akufo-Addo oye because even the worst type of governance now we are seem like aristocracy, oligarchy and all those ones no. It's like he has merged all the stupidity in one fold. And there so. Me baby da mo eko contest. Matisi say ye German no for ho na baby. Bunu ho baby. Meko ho kodo. Meka cho bia se we kro form mo to aba ne ma no. MPP for the be to aba ma no. And no I can't say much.
Because of primaries.
This is somebody that I should respect a lot. I tell you. I know him personally. I used to have a lot of respect for him. When you say judge, I call our trainer there. We don't the same way.
Judge, no,
trainer there. I call our trainer there. And why here? It won't. Jimmy, no. What dear, why Bible Jimmy, when you muna asha judge ni muno. Who direct. No punctuation. Direct. Straight impartation of Jimmy from Damwa to the judge. Straight. And you see that in the judgment. Straight. You don't have to say Sebi. Hey, straight. Judge Bienu wo we asimo ya. Obey say Jimmy way apart from ono. I'm telling you, hey, straight. Hey, Jimmy, you don't have to. If you read the judgment, me bana hon talk asa. Me hon fame. I nearly turned because he has said it all. Except to say, when Tonya loyalty, on share law creating or sections are no or can act. Oh, section 50 no of the Special Prosecutor Act. Special Prosecutor, hey, office no very powerful. It is a very, very, very powerful institution. Unim, I to say, I could for the Kofa Jata. So, Ometsi, and this is one way. Now, Okofa Jata ne ba no. No man Jata no. To me say, wait, na me dia ma say, fati, your friend is saying, NDC for. Chomu na jomo, onyo mo do pekranka. Na nipa wodi to me ni man no. Na adweye ne say, oni ne ya adwi wo position. Enti waba abemu a matani du edi ne say gu na chi aba president office camera sine so oboni mu ase. Onim se matani du no o yahuro ni awo. Oti ase. Martin ne principle na ne principle character ni trait na odi na wiase no. Onfa wo se oye ni nua, oye ne wo fa ase, oye na konta, oye ne yire. Martin ne yire kura no ajolof na njine tinimo obeka. What you say? That's why I say what did you mean? What you say? Ebi kura pa obetimi kura fa jollof ni so ayeden ejawo. Eti time ode ma tami Dubai no. Na he was not going to prosecute any NDC. They were just going to be a subject for persecution.
NDC for?
Yes. Oh, little did he know, say, Matiamidu say or criticize John Mahama over alleged corruption. Okojina vetting committee him. They be say fa John Mahama who be also
perception.
Perception. John Mahama, and then I would do. Tina make us the same way. So you see, will be the most clean president. Clean president. From Nkrumah Apenso. Kenwa ba mo fa Akufo no Apenso nyina bedru Akufo-Addo Apenso. Ono no the cleanliness no. Sometimes I would describe it as Jimmy Kura. Look, this is a man very selfless. He went home without knowing where he was going to sleep the next morning. And so now your studios are here. People had painted pictures that depicted of a thief. No sika bufutu nkwa no akose sasika no no de akoma lodina jebo katenkwan eni koto ne enwe. This is how deep. All these were said about him. When Madam who said your mama nyekron for, because they would let you, the listener, no, believe. Sometimes you go to the studios to defend John Mahama, but usati wa na omo kansam na hwe owo teach them ayedi nu asumu a, you are tempted to be one of them to believe the commentary now omo eman. But
former President Mahama Kraka said there's no perfect politician anywhere.
Yes. But you see, the word perfection. The word perfection. The word perfection. No, it is there only because of God. God is the only perfect spirit. Apart from God, there is nothing perfect in this land. In fact, ono krana body nyina no, me bana hunto ka say oboli dabi. God created imperfection amongst perfection. And until any parent nya perfect da obi enu a John Amanam ho no sebio me kan fo no say why say nya say oye holy good and you men can't say Ghana for say John Mahama will be a perfect president. No, I won't do that.
But say perfection is different from complete. I wasn't talking about perfection.
But complete, the word complete is also remarkable when you want to discuss perfection. Complete, there is no human being who is complete. There is no human being who is complete. There is no human being. There is none.
Every human being is complete.
There is no human being who is complete. There is no human being who is complete. You can debate that sometimes. It's just rhetoric, that you can. So Nana, usahu say, Emra we, ya ye. Yediamu ubi to me say, often ni juma. What the mrano edi juma na wie. Na bianca nyoma e call so no. Me da mo krampa and I would have been the ostrich no me tutu from the mitiashim me mabedwanu biem because adia na wa ya egu sebio wani mo nyam nyina wo de ade we agu hu fi sikanti did Damo not attend on the special prosecutor meeting? He did. Only the lawyer na koye true or false.
True.
And to say no lawyer ko baby wo koye no ense na ebusa ono anu yiye no enu ana mo tro ya na say de wo kan o man tro. So what did he go to court to challenge? Na judge so wa no so ejami papa se ma jimi nti teacher se ma fail it means me fail it right ono so atron kwase asem kwase asem complete any kwase me to say bi what jimi straight. And a judge not trouble crata so say Ghana for ye yankwase afo nti yanko kan na me kan ni na me hu Jimmy from line 1 to the last line Jimmy nkwa no tro Jimmy nkwa straight. They are giving us the reason why we should believe say the judiciary it is not up to the task. And the time we can me no nyas ma me court me makasa semwe sa me so hu se me kokota na ebia me ne Nasiru Nyankopon pangu bibia ba yentem Nasiru di mako police station police force o me de me court o me di me dru court won me busam se me wa no di se me ni hweka e kwantoa me ko bodua me judge ani me lawyer nyina ye fra omu owuo me lawyer ye fra no owuo lawyer owuo me judge owuo anam di ja okwan anu ti na me nya boni no me ma ye boni a prayers ya anu no so kra no Nyankopon tro Bible mkra say boni me boni anu no
list of one sima me
me nya batimi akame me de be yan futuo ma me toko no ti hoyi ada oba ye me betena studio hatu ne fu I've seen a new match say or ye worse than any yeboa meko swear 24 because ada ebeji chi no untimi nka se wo ko se wo wig na emu kankan no enfa nkotena ayo se wo ko akoye judge eji chi a that's what we have always preached though. Sometimes we insult them to get their conscience pricked. I do so intentionally to get their conscience pricked so that at least they will have some molecule of nyanse kakrase eti eji chi a meye den ene obi ase ne banko ye lawyer but ebedu time bi no lawyer hu hia se me mabo na siru osme court obahi mi kaka so ama mi se atu na wo obi a wo be kan wakoko high boys ama ma bebu wo court akopeden enti kwase se mo enti ye na court yenko hwe ha o judiciary a mo reputation can any case will be a judge. Hey. It's like you have to walk like obi a wona se kura de won person obi betie. And then look at how people understand obi a ye judge. As obi o ye kronfo tutubotomi. And the government has formed a syndicate akufodo. Any your friend is saying legislature for minority and majority for a form syndicate with the judges. As I say, I'm working. I judge for it at your Ramsa site, Opa, let me do a quack so judge and a site wall. Can I support you? I have a Kwame Plus. The bus and Ramsa site once. It was a dabba that Ghana for my creative special prosecutor office of the special prosecutor. Yeah, the Bechia Crawford, Ukoja International Platform. So I have set organizations that are anti-corruption organizations that will chase after everybody that is corrupt and what can say you do all this and you think the Ghanaian is that stupid because or your gullible say Adebia president Becca, Adebia and Abedi Becca, Adebia why my Becca. Say yes, Sempa yet Ghana ha. How on earth does Obitisa Godfrey Dame qualify to be Attorney General? What be our boss say? Sometimes.
Want to me mamu 2 minutes na me time ko.
Yankopon a o say
any yes me time no continue. List of one see na dey akane no adia me fa no aduane me damase kwa me answer na be ko break
obi send message ma me fa ma na kan o say
ma me ma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama happy birthday na me ma eye ne hukani ne dofo na no ma kanafo so me ma na mo say enye oba bia na ejina be ma chima be ma na successful enti say ye kase behind every successful man there is a woman. I want to stand up and say Mame Lodina Mahama has been a woman, a force behind the mighty power.
Can I say you know?
Ewo Jo Mahama munu. Nyankopon hia no no moano. Na pamfani nko baby asebio mapomma etna. Na om mapomma no enhu ne se ono ene won panyi.
Okay, and that's it. Okay. Good evening, Senior Comrade Samuel. Great delivery. My daughter arrived yesterday from school and they will be resuming on 18th March 2024.
18th March. So December otifie. January February otifie.
And then it say and then 28 29. Okay, so
December
19 or better 3 or better 4
Kaya do here no Ghana card. Quick credits. Ukuta Ghana card na kuta digital address and then just say scan here dey check. Ubeti aka eyabusi loan ya dey ma wo. Eju wo Ghana card na wo hia sika pa dey twitwa ho. Wo hia sika dey expand business ya bibia dey a. No one so be for Ghana card no afre quick credit for 0596 920833 0596 920833. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Nugwado go last stop Estate Junction. Why you say fear be drofie and go. A face stroke, diabetes, infertility. Wabani bema mobra wa wo. Ye no mpemu adwuma bone setting. Ni na no mpese bubu se dislocation bemo. Se dia ye bia no ko Greenfield. Afa bright soldier capsules so hon mani mema nenom. Wonu madure ye wo gina so ankasa. Ye wo bright garlic plus capsules so a garlic ye adwuma woni pedwe mesie ma ma wo ye fefefe kama Bright Soldier capsules, Bright Garlic Plus capsules. Ebusu ewo dwaso no Guadagon Last Stop Estate Junction. Bamodia na frɛ 0261 651898 0243 83 0243 98 3906. Afei shane so semen kantra wo se wo pe coolant bi ediagu engine mu dia ene Seahorse 50x50 engine coolant and no ena make come for the amount Seahorse 50x50 engine coolant and my engine no etia podina ne now so kama overheating basa bia ne just a one kasa hu se engine gina ne now so your other grades 33x67 coolant average your 10x90 coolant ya ebusu ewo edwaso papa ni nie bomodia efreye 0244 577 559 0244 577 559 and answer 0540 424386 0540 424386 and fence so Google winji mukra afa imbusabo Mr. Bibidro fie imbusabo Mr. du papa nie boost immune system no ema wanka se hu se Bibidro papa ni woni padua no ahoden sunko ene wo mu imbusabo Mr. busu wo dwaso atifo mfre 0246 208496 0246208496 Tabia Herbal Center so Tabia Herbal Mischaba wonam yo ya malaria fever wadru no Tabia Herbal capsules ya de ne yam tim wadru no drowe abusu kanshi drug lane num ne ba bi etonro bia no Tabia Herbal Mischa Tabia Herbal capsules ubenya bia to ho afefre 0243 686861 0243 686661 One go energy drink. One go energy drink. Or see your ultimate source of vitality. And only papa no. Still one kasa mo hu say obi a ade chance why hodwo bi wadwuma mu say ahodi ni hwan kani ho bi uhia one go energy drink. One go energy drink. Vetted approved by FDA. Be bia no say wo pe energy drink ha. Or see vitamin B3, B5, B6, B12 all packed in a sporty silver bottle. Yeah, one go energy drink. Afe top choco. Yeah, the fat bread. Yeah, chocolate. Utimi dini sa so. Top choco 3-1 chocolate drink in su cocoa wom milk wom sugar wom. Do here ni wunsu shie. Osaka krabi guma tea pampa. Freya 0243 6363 0243030303. And you may fasida Emma NST Kwame Kwachi, executive producer NST Okwawia Ijimba asida enko emfa maun na me panel members nyina na poku list well somewhere hunto Alhaji Naziru Muhammad me de munyina ase me so na nwei abusum kase na kwa brabo biansa ni empress ba ko pen na meja ko na mesum 6 pm k akafem kasebo democracy kasebo edem fed ba besum wo edam ase so kan ye ho